Jessica's holding her hands, and Fabian was cutting her arm.
So they were cutting her arms off in the bedroom.
Then they put her other pieces in the bathtub.
Did he penetrate Victoria with his...
Yes.
Was your daughter saying anything?
Stop.
This is 35-year-old Michelle Martins, a mother of two whose spine-chilling revelations left the detectives and the entire state of Texas in complete shock.
You were in the room while she was being assaulted. What part did you take in that act?
As the interrogation starts, detectives realized that her seemingly normal house was actually the ultimate house of horrors. In this interrogation, detectives uncover a monster in disguise of a loving mother. A woman who betrayed her own daughter in the most horrific way. On the morning of August 24, 2016, a worried neighbor's tip brought Texas police to this apartment, revealing a crime so shocking it would stay with them forever. When the police arrived at the scene, they saw smoke coming out of Michelle's apartment. Forcing their way in, they found a blanket in the bathtub, which was still smoldering in fumes. Upon opening it, they made a grim discovery. Inside were the dismembered limbs of a girl. In the living room, the police found a trash bag containing lungs and kidneys. One by one, the detectives were putting together the pieces of this gruesome puzzle. But the question remained, what actually went down with Michelle's daughter, Victoria, and where was her son, Matthew? Answers to both were revealed soon enough in the interrogation, and detectives were left to wonder what kind of monsters could commit such acts. Upon initial investigation, detectives discovered that Michelle lived in that apartment with Victoria, along with her boyfriend, Fabian Gonzalez, and his cousin, Jessica Kelly. As the horrifying details of crime came to light, all three adults were immediately taken into custody. Detectives soon discover the dark secret of the seemingly ordinary family.
Hey, no, ma'am. I'm Corey.
Hi.
It's nice to meet you.
Josh is going to go back in and talk to Phoebe a little bit. So I just wanted to come back in so that way we can kind of continue on going through, okay? Maybe to make it a little bit easier, I just wanted to talk to you a little bit. Victoria's birthday was
Just yesterday.
Right? Okay. And what were you guys gonna do for Victoria's birthday?
We were gonna celebrate it today.
Okay. What was did you guys have a
The
plan?
park above.
The part?
At the park above. It's up at Interrogation.
Okay. Okay.
Nice.
We guys just have friends and cake. Okay. How do you, does that make you, it's hard, huh? Okay. She was your baby.
I can't imagine my mother without her. Now I have to.
Why'd you name her Victoria?
Okay, I always said if I had a girl, I'd name her Victoria.
Okay. And she was 10, just turned 10? Yeah. What were some of her favorite things to do?
Color, math,
Math.
gymnastics.
Gymnastics. Okay. What did she do, like tumbling and gymnastics? Okay. Wow. You're gonna miss her.
Yeah.
Initially, Michelle tried to play the role of a grieving mother, but these seasoned detectives saw through her act. After all, she had allowed Fabian and Jessica to stay in her home, despite the clear danger they posed to her children.
I'm just worried about my son now.
Well, and I want you to be able to be there for your son. Okay?
I'm worried about my life now, too.
Well, can you kind of tell me why you're worried?
Because now I'm afraid they're going to come back and kill me. I don't even want to stay home now.
Okay.
I want to get out of there.
Just weeks into dating, Michelle let Fabian, a repeat offender with a history of misdemeanors and child abuse, move into her apartment, which she shared with her daughter. Within a month, Fabian brought his cousin, Jessica Kelly, into the household. A recently released felon with a history of crime and substance abuse, she arrived on August 15, 2016, just 8 days before the crime unfolded. Allowing two dangerous individuals to stay with her daughter wasn't just reckless, it raised serious suspicions about Michelle's motives. But Michelle would not be able to hide her involvement in the crime for a long time, and the detectives will soon pin her down.
Kind of explain to me that again. What time did Victoria come home, and when did you notice it was gone?
She gets home about 4:30 because the bus gets there about 4. So she went to her friend's house because she didn't see me at the bus stop.
Okay.
And her friend sent her back to the house around 4:30, 4:45, around there. And then that's about the time that me and Fabian, we got back about 4:50, 5 o'clock, around there.
And where were you and Fabian at?
We went to his uncle's.
Okay.
And we came back, and that's when I saw on the table.
Okay.
And then
Take your time.
I went to use the restroom.
Mm-hmm.
And I came back and I was gone. And Victoria was the only one in the living room. So then she said she started feeling tired, so she was going to go to bed.
Okay.
So she went in there.
She went into her room? Okay.
And never came back out.
Okay. What happened next? Did you go check on it?
I always check on her. When I checked on her, she seemed to be breathing. Because I checked, I always look at her stomach. See it was going up and down. And that was the last time that I checked on her.
Okay.
Fabian said he was going to go check on her for me. So he went to go check on her. And that was the time she wasn't breathing. And that's when he told me. She's not breathing.
Of the 3 adults living in the apartment, each seems to have their own version of events that were vastly different from one another. Michelle claims she checked on Victoria twice and found that she had stopped breathing the second time, suggesting a possible drug poisoning. Jessica, however, had offered a completely different account, alleging that a mysterious man came looking for Fabian. When he couldn't find him, he went straight to Victoria's room and did those horrible things to her. Notably, the interrogations of both Fabian and Jessica were never disclosed to the media.
So what did you do?
I got up and said, what do you mean she's not breathing?
Okay.
And then I looked on the table, but then noticed that the bag was gone. I was like, did she get a hold of that? And then like, she might have.
Okay.
I was like, what was the only thing there?
And where was the bag at?
In the living room table.
Okay.
The coffee table.
And did you ever see it after it went missing?
No.
No? Okay.
So then Jessica went to get the knife. And I asked her where she's going with that.
Okay.
She said we're gonna dispose of the body.
So let's back up just a little bit, okay? Because you're skipping around. So Fabian tells you she's not breathing. Did you go check on her?
I did.
Okay. And tell me about that. What did you see?
Just her laying there.
Okay.
I didn't know what to do. I didn't want to call the cops because then they probably would have stopped me from trying to do that.
Okay.
I didn't know what to do.
There's another reason that you didn't call the police, though, isn't there? Why didn't you call police?
Because there was drugs in the house.
Okay.
And I didn't want them to think it was mine because it's not.
Okay. And I understand. That I understand. Okay. I mean, if there's drugs in the house, you don't want to get in trouble.
Okay.
Okay. So you check on your daughter. And what do you find?
She wasn't breathing when I went in there.
Okay. Was she dead?
She was.
Okay. I'm so sorry. I know that this is not your fault.
I feel like it is.
It's not.
That's how they want me to freaking feel.
That is how they want you to feel. They want you to feel like you did this and it's your fault, but it's not.
At first glance, Michelle looks like a mother who's distressed at her daughter's death. In fact, the detective uses her sympathetic side to make Michelle comfortable and open, which worked. She shares that as a mother, she confessed to protect her own while her own daughter was tormented in front of her eyes. Had it been any other detective, maybe Michelle could have slipped through. But as the interrogation progresses, the detectives team up and get Michelle to confess the full shocking truth.
Did anybody go in the room in between when you checked on her and when the first time and the second time?
I'm not sure because I went to use the bathroom.
When did you and Fabian go to his brother's house to buy some? When was that? Was that before this or after?
It was before this.
Okay.
Because I wasn't home. I wasn't home to get Victoria at the bus stop. And then that's what made her go to her friend's house.
Okay.
And then her friend sent her back to the house when Jessica was there. So I don't know what went on when I wasn't there.
Okay.
So do you remember when you and Fabian were back in the parking lot? When you guys got back to
Me
the
and her were
apartment?
sitting in the car.
Okay. Oh, and you guys, what were you doing?
We were listening to the music.
Okay. And what did you see with Jessica? What happened with Jessica?
She was coming down the stairs with my daughter in a blanket.
Why was that?
I don't know.
You do know. So let's back up.
I'm just trying to get the times right because it's kind of getting a little confusing. Do you know what I mean?
So let's back up to where you find her and she's dead on the bed. Okay? What happens from there? There's a conversation between you and Fabian and Jessica. What is that conversation?
He said if I tell anybody that I'm gonna be the next one,
Okay.
they threatened me.
And what did you guys decide to do with your daughter? With Victoria? Your baby girl. This is your 10-year-old baby girl, Victoria.
They put me in the bathtub.
Because you were there. And you saw. And you watched. So what was the discussion about what was going to be done with Victoria?
I knew they were gonna get rid of her, but I didn't know. I forgot this discussion.
You forgot the discussion.
I don't remember it.
Okay. What happened next?
They said that if I say anything, they just kept threatening me.
Okay.
That if I say anything, I'm gonna be the next one. Or I better not fall asleep. So then I just left.
So you left?
There was nothing else I could do. I didn't know what to do.
So from the time you find your daughter and she's dead, Victoria is dead in her room. Am I right? And then you leave. What happened in between that time?
And before that was the time I saw Jessica stabbing her in the stomach.
Okay.
And then with the pillow over it.
So explain the whole pillow over her head. What was that for?
Because it's a grip to hold her hands.
So was she already
Because she
dead?
was already.
Oh, okay. So you see her and can you kind of explain to me, she's holding her hands?
And Jessica's holding her hands. And Fabian was cutting her arm.
So they were cutting her arms off in the bedroom.
Okay. And then they put her in the bathtub.
Okay. When did they start cutting her leg off?
After her arm.
After her arm? Okay. So what you're saying is Jessica was holding her arms and Fabian was cutting? Okay. So Fabian had the knife at that point? Okay. But you said that Jessica stabbed her in the stomach? Okay. Why?
It's like they were taking turns at her.
Okay. And when you saw this, you didn't call 911 because you were afraid that the cops were going to know that there were drugs in the house?
And that they were going to kill me right there on the spot.
Okay.
Michelle's story is both graphic and full of contradictions. It was clear that it didn't align with the narrative of a helpless mother she was trying to portray. But the female detective successfully sees through it. She holds Michelle's hands to show her support and empathize, a strategy only to turn Michelle's cries into confessions later.
At what time does Jessica carry your daughter down the stairs? Is this before or after they cut her up?
After.
So she was already cut up?
No, that's when they put her in the bathtub. It was before. Before they cut her, because then they put her other pieces in the bathtub.
So she carried her downstairs to you guys when you guys were in the car before they cut her up.
Mm-hmm.
And so she was basically asking, are you guys ready to do this?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So then, just so we're clear, you knew that Victoria was dead, right? And then you and Fabian left for a little bit to go to his brother's house? Is that correct? I'm just
No, that's when I
the
came
time.
back. When I came back.
When you came back? But we have people saying that you and Fabian were sitting in the car when Jessica was on the stairs holding Victoria in a blanket.
That's how I knew.
That's how you knew she was dead? Okay, so then let me back up. Victoria told you she was sleeping and was going to go to bed, right? You checked on her a little bit. A little bit after that, you said she was breathing, right? Then you and Fabian left to go get from his brother? And I don't care about that. I'm just trying to figure.
Yeah.
Then you guys left. Then when you came back, Jessica was holding Victoria, right?
Yes.
That's when you went up and that's when you knew for sure she was dead?
Yes.
And what did Jessica tell you about how she died?
She told me she didn't know.
But you said earlier she killed her. How did she kill her?
Victoria took the map that was on the table, and then Jessica stabbed her in the stomach. In her bedroom.
So I guess I'm a little confused, and I think I see what you're talking about. Because it's either your daughter went into the room and she died and you left. Or it's your daughter went into the room, you guys left, came back and found her dead. Which one is it?
The second.
So you were gone.
Yes.
You weren't even there when she was dying. Okay. And so you come back and you guys make this plan like, great, now we're gonna get in trouble, so we gotta get rid of the body. Am I right?
Yeah, but I didn't want to have no part in it.
Okay.
It's not my fault.
But this is your daughter.
I know.
This is Victoria. This is your baby.
How did Victoria die? Do you know?
She tasted the that was on the table.
Okay, so because you said something a minute ago, you said that Jessica stabbed her.
And it was after she was already dead.
Okay.
So you know that she took and that's what killed her. Okay. So you guys, or you watch, but Jessica and Fabian cut your daughter up, Victoria. They cut her arms off. They cut her leg off. They cut her from here to here, Victoria. They cut her. And you watch, right?
I couldn't. After I saw it, but she was starting to cut her arm. I left.
What do you mean you left?
I went outside.
Okay. So explain to me what happened after that. You guys started cleaning up?
And they started cleaning up.
What did you do?
I was in the kitchen
What'd you do in the
getting
kitchen?
ready to make dinner. Making the tacos. And then Fabian took over after he was finished.
By this point, the detectives were fairly certain Michelle's psyche was more than a little off. After all, it takes a special kind of detachment to witness your daughter being chopped up, then casually head to the kitchen to whip up some tacos. For a mother, brushing off something like that wasn't just concerning, it was downright chilling. In the face of such harrowing details of mutilation that would make anyone's blood boil, the detectives managed to keep a sympathetic voice towards Michelle, as if trying to understand her perspective so that she does not get defensive. This approach actually helped them to get closer to the truth.
After you guys cut the arms off of Victoria, cut her leg off, and wrapped her up in a blanket and put her in the bathtub, right? Then you went and made dinner. And what did Jessica and Fabian do?
I feel like nothing ever happened.
Okay. So where did they cut her up at?
The bathtub.
In the bathtub? So where did they cut her arms off at?
In the bedroom.
In the bedroom. Okay. Did you, when they were cutting her up, Victoria, did you ever touch Victoria or hold on to her, hold her arm? Did you ever hold her
Because
steady?
they threatened me saying if I go near them, that they're gonna kill me too.
Okay. So you go and make dinner. Okay. And they are clean. And then what happens after that?
Once dinner was done, I go in my room and I eat.
Okay.
And I
so
only ate
you
one
eat.
taco.
Well, because you were probably sick to your stomach.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can.
So then I put the other one in the fridge.
Okay.
And then that's when I went back in the room. And I've been trying right down.
Okay. And how did this all happen? How did the fight happen?
And that's true.
Did they think you were gonna try to get away?
Yes, because when I got up out of bed because I couldn't sleep.
Mm-hmm.
But when I got up, that's when Jessica asked me if I believed in God. And that was my hint right there. I thought she was trying to kill me.
Mm-hmm.
So I was going to get up because I saw the iron in her hand.
Mm-hmm.
But when I got up, that's when she hit me. And I was holding like this. And I went outside into the living room. And then that's where everything else took place.
Okay.
She just started beating me and beating me.
Now you and Fabian both left out of the front door. And I know that you left together because the neighbors you guys woke the neighbors up and they all watched you. Okay. So you and Fabian left together out the front. What did you guys decide you were going to tell police? Because you now have to call police. You're very hurt. What did you guys decide to tell the police?
No, Jessica did.
That Jessica did it. Okay.
Or the first thing that happened to her body after she was dead? Was she stabbed? Was she cut? What was the first thing?
She was stabbed.
And who did that?
Jessica
Did she just stab her or did she slice her?
did that.
Okay.
So straight up and down into her body?
And this was in
And
her.
then she went up.
This was in her bedroom.
Yeah.
Okay. And then what happened to Victoria after that?
They left her in the bathtub.
So she still had her arms when she went into the bathtub?
And then they cut one off. Yeah.
They cut one of her arms off on the bed? Okay.
One or both?
What?
Okay. And then they put her on the bed? When did they cut off her second arm?
Did they put her in the bathtub?
When did they cut her leg?
When she was in the bath.
When she was in the bath?
What were they saying when they were cutting her? What were they talking about?
It was made if you say anything to anybody, you're gonna be the next one.
Is there anything else? Anything you can remember?
Oh,
Did they talk about where they were going to put her body? What they were going to do with it?
I don't remember.
Anything else you remember that they said? I know it's hard. I know it's very traumatic. Did they say anything to you? Did they tell you they were sorry? Did
No,
they tell Victoria they were sorry?
no. They had no remorse.
Did anybody use the iron for anything at that point? Was anybody have the iron?
No, that came when Jessica started fighting with me.
Okay. So you never saw the iron before she hit you with it?
No.
This explains why Michelle seemed so scared at the beginning. Jessica Kelly feared that Michelle might betray them, believing that a mother who couldn't stay loyal to her own daughter could never be trusted to stay faithful to her. Acting on this fear, Jessica struck Michelle in the face with an iron to silence her. However, Fabian intervened and saved Michelle. It was after this altercation that they went to their neighbor's house where the 911 call was made.
What did they do with Victoria's arms? Are they in the house?
I didn't see them in the house.
Okay. Maybe, let me ask you this. Maybe it'll refresh your memory a little bit, okay? Do you remember them wrapping Victoria in a trash bag? Do you remember that? When did they do that? Or a bag? I don't know if it was a trash bag. Did they wrap her in plastic?
No, but I had the trash bags under the sink.
In the kitchen?
They used those?
And both of them lifted her up and put her in there.
Okay.
And was it before they started cutting her or after?
After.
After which part? Her arms or after her leg? And I'm asking you really difficult questions, okay?
No.
It's really hard to think about. Do you remember when they put her in the trash bag?
I don't remember exactly. But I know it was after they cut one of her lips. I don't remember exactly.
Was it before they put her in the bathtub?
It was after.
After? Okay.
So when I finally escaped Jessica from beating me up, and I finally got out the door, I was gonna go knock on my neighbor's door right next to me. Then that's when Fabian called me. He's come over here, I'm over here. That's when I went over there and I went to the neighbor's house and sat down.
Okay.
Then I don't know what went on after. All I heard was the smoke alarms. So she was probably trying to set the house on fire.
Did they talk about fire when you were there? Or?
No. No, but all I heard was the alarms.
Michelle,
And Jessica was the only one in the house at that time.
Michelle, did they talk about putting Victoria in a car and taking her somewhere? Or what they were going to do with her?
They didn't mention it to me.
So they didn't have...
Because it would have been my car.
Okay.
But Michelle, there was a conversation that you guys had about what you were going to do with Victoria, with her body.
What were you going to do?
And if it's easier, what were they going to do to Victoria? What were they going to do with her body?
She was my one and only.
What's that?
She was my one and only miracle child.
And you were a good mom. You're not a bad person. Michelle, what were they going to do with Victoria's body?
They were going to try to take my car.
Okay.
But I wouldn't let them get the keys.
Okay, and what were they going to do with your car?
Take her somewhere. I don't know where.
Okay,
Just to get rid of her.
Michelle's audacity is baffling. If Victoria was truly her miracle child, why didn't she try to protect her? As a mother, her primary responsibility was to safeguard her daughter, a responsibility she spectacularly failed to fulfill.
Michelle, one more thing, okay? Did Jessica ever specifically say anything to you about how she killed Victoria? Do you know how she killed her? Or do you not know?
She never mentioned to me that she was even going to do that.
Do what?
Kill her.
So how do you know she killed her?
Because she was the only one in my house.
Okay.
So did she kill her or did she take her and die? And you need to be completely honest because we've heard two stories. Did she take her and she died? Or did Jessica kill her? Remember, be honest. When we go to autopsy tomorrow, is Victoria going to have in her system? She will not.
So then how did she die, Michelle?
What happened?
How did Victoria die?
She tried.
She what?
She tried it.
She tried what?
The drug on the table.
So Victoria did take the on the table? So will there be meth in her system? Yeah.
So why did you just tell us no a second ago, Michelle? It's confusing to me. What are you afraid of?
Do you think we're gonna blame you? And why are you afraid to tell us that she took?
Because I feel like a failure.
Did somebody do something to Victoria after she took to make sure that she stayed asleep? That you know of?
That I can recall. I can't remember much.
So did you lie about Jessica killing your daughter because that was the plan when you and Fabian got attacked? And it's okay if you did. I understand why you would be dishonest. But I need to know because we can't, I don't want Jessica to get in trouble for something that she did or did not do. So if she killed your daughter, we need to know that. But if she didn't kill your daughter, if it was an accident that she took these drugs, we also need to know that too. Does that make sense? Okay. Did Jessica kill your daughter?
No.
No. Okay. Did your daughter die because there was left on the table and she took some?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Did you guys cut her apart because you were afraid to call police because she had died from drugs and you were afraid that you would get in trouble?
They did, yes.
They did. Okay. Did Michelle kill Victoria? Okay. Was it an accident?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Did anybody force Victoria to eat?
No.
Nobody did try it?
Do you wish now that you had called police when she took it?
Yes.
Okay.
Did you know that Fabian and Jessica both wanted to have sex with their child?
I did not know they did. No. Then I just
No,
met
let's-
Vivian
let's-
just to like.
You knew Fabian did. Because that was talked about. Am I right? You knew Fabian wanted to have sex with your daughter. Because you guys discussed it. Am I right or am I wrong?
I didn't discuss that with him.
Yes, you did. You just told us you did. 5 minutes ago, you said that you talked to Fabian about having sex with your daughter and that you allowed it and that you watched. Is that true?
Yes.
Okay. I guess sometimes I don't understand why you'll tell the truth on these big, huge things, but on little things you try to lie. And it makes no sense to me. Do you know what I mean? Okay. A couple questions. With Matthew. Did David penetrate Matthew?
No, he had a well checkup and I had him checked and he did not.
Well, you watched. So did David have penetrate your son with either his fingers or
His finger, but not his.
So he did penetrate him.
With his finger.
Would it be any different if it was with his? He's still penetrating him. Did he penetrate him with his? That you do this thing when you're not telling the truth.
You're not a good liar,
Yeah,
so you might as
you're-
well just keep being honest with us.
Did David penetrate Matthew with his?
Yes.
How many times? Both times?
Yes.
Did he penetrate Victoria with his?
No.
Why are you lying? You just tell us he penetrated Matthew. Why does it make it any worse that he penetrated Victoria?
We know that he did.
Did he penetrate Victoria with his? David.
Yes.
Okay.
Michelle had reached new, unattained heights of inhumanity. What she did puzzled even those detectives, who very cautiously set up a stimulating atmosphere to elicit a confession. But at what cost? While it is tragic, one might consider it a relief that Victoria's suffering ended, sparing her a lifetime of immense trauma and misery.
Before Jessica showed up at your house, she's only been there for about 5 days, right?
Mm-hmm.
How long have you been with Fabian? How long has he been in your house?
He's been in my house for about a month.
How many times has Fabian by himself had sex with your daughter?
Maybe about 3.
No, because you said, how many times did you say him and Jessica have? In the last month, how many times did Fabian have sex with your daughter? Was it every day?
Most likely.
Was it every day?
Yes.
Not most likely,
Yes.
not, I don't know. Did you know that he was having sex with your daughter every day?
Yes.
Okay.
Did you watch every time?
No, because I worked.
How many times did Fabian have sex with your son Matthew during the last month?
About the same time?
Every day? Was the only reason he didn't last night because he wasn't there? And does Fabian penetrate Matthew with his...
Yes.
Has anybody ever filmed either your son or your daughter being...
No.
Where is Victoria's dad in all of this?
Out of the picture, he told me he had wanted nothing to do with me or her
When
she was born. When I called him and told him that I was in the hospital with her.
So he's never been around? Have you ever contacted him since then? Would you even know how to get hold of him?
No.
How much knowledge of all this does Matthew's dad have?
Absolutely none.
So he has no knowledge of what you're doing. Okay.
So he never participated with you in acts with your kids?
Mm-mm.
No. How long, years-wise, how long has this been going on with men and your children?
A year? Maybe
Just
6 months?
Just a year? So 6 months to a year is how long you've been allowing these other men to come over and do what you guys have been doing.
Did you engage in any sort of activity with your children by yourself prior to these men?
No.
So how did you discover that this was something that you wanted to be a part of or take part in? How did you get into that? Was it something you just wanted to try?
Just to see. Curious, yes.
Is this something that ever happened to you?
Not to my knowledge.
So you didn't have like a mother or a father that really assaulted you or allowed other people to assault you?
Not to my knowledge.
Look me in the eye real quick. It's just the 3 men that have had your daughter and your son.
Yes.
No more.
No.
All right, go and stand up for me. How's your burger?
Good.
Pretty good? All right, go and find your bag.
So Michelle, at this point, you're under arrest for a homicide of a child, a slew of whole other charges that I probably couldn't even list here if I wanted to.
Okay.
And if you need me to explain that to you, then there's no hope for it because everything we talked about, the fact that you're shocked you're going to jail is beyond me.
The detective did an exceptional job of catching Michelle off guard. From holding her hand to reassure her that she believed her story, to casually asking how she enjoyed the burger, the female detective skillfully navigated the interrogation, gaining her trust and also the opportunity to strike when her guard is down. After that, Michelle Martins was taken into custody, because it was not impossible for this woman to walk free after what she did. The entire interrogation was filled with vile revelations of how a mother of all people could have such fantasies of watching her own children getting assaulted and killed. On June 19, 2018, Michelle Martins avoided a first-degree murder charge by taking a plea deal. She pleaded guilty to reckless child abuse resulting in death and tampering with evidence. In what many saw as an infuriatingly lenient sentence, Michelle received 12 years in prison.
The baby was actually set on fire. Oh my God.
Behind this disturbing murder of a newborn, a cold case which remained buried for 27 years, lies only one person with the answers: 52-year-old Carrie Mazuka. But little do the detectives know, that they are about to confront an extremely heartless woman, desperately holding on to the last remaining strands of her lies.
My baby.
I didn't, baby.
Who did?
I don't know who did.
The doctor who did the autopsy says your version's full.
Beneath the calm denial of this mother of two lies a story soaked in cruelty, so disturbing that even seasoned detectives would be left speechless. The tragedy started on the morning of September 7, 1997, when two city workers in Albany, New York, were performing routine maintenance in Washington Park. Near the base of the Moses statue, they discovered a blue pillowcase that appeared to be partially burned, but what they found inside would leave them stunned. It was the body of a lifeless baby boy, later named Moses. However, at the time, there were no leads or witnesses, and unfortunately, the identity of the parents remained unknown. However, nearly 23 years later, in 2020, the Albany Police Department, along with the Cold Case Analysis Center at the College of St. Rose, used modern forensic technology to reanalyze the evidence from the case. After 2 years of analysis, in 2022, the lab Othram Inc. successfully managed to create a full DNA profile from preserved evidence. That profile was submitted to the FBI's forensic genealogy team, which matched it to a relative of the baby. It was through that lead that investigators identified Carrie S. Mazuka, who had been living just 5 blocks from the original crime scene. And what awaited was a shocking and roller coaster interrogation where a 27-year-old mystery finally began to crack open.
So the reason we need you to help us out here is we're looking into something that happened quite a few years ago. Okay. Back in 1997. So some remains were found in Washington Park. Okay. And, you know, it's been a long time since it happened. We've been kind of working on it, here and there. And we've been deploying a new investigative technique, right? Do you watch, like, any of this stuff on the news, like genealogy stuff?
No.
Okay. So what we do is, we kind of go to some third-party companies like Ancestry.com, stuff like that, and try and build family trees, okay? So part of that is that the remains, the DNA testing on the remains that we found are connected to your family, okay? Yeah, so it was younger, right? The remains, best we can tell. And we honestly don't know really what happened. It's just one of those things that they're trying to get us to figure out and use this new, it's crazy, right? So let me ask you this. Do you know of anyone in your family that you guys could never find or anything like that?
No, I mean, I'm not close with my family, but no.
Okay. Actually, I should have started. Part of this is we're building out that family tree, right?
Right.
Like, because certain things aren't filled. Like, you know, are you on Ancestry.com? Or
No.
Right. So that's the problem, right? So there's huge gaps. So it could show, like, Carrie Spielman, right? Her, you know, great aunt gave DNA because she's an Ancestry buff. So now we have to go out and build that out, right? That makes sense.
Yeah.
Too. So let me ask you this. You got mom, dad, obviously. Do you have brothers and sisters?
I have a sister.
Okay, you have a sister. And what's your sister's name?
Wendy Morrison. Morrison.
Okay. And is she local?
She lives in Roxbury now.
Roxbury? Okay.
She was in Watertown, and I think she went to Roxbury, Watertown, and then back to Roxbury.
DNA genealogy might not directly point towards one person, but with enough DNA samples from the family members, it can be clarified who the mother is. The detectives here are keeping their cards close to their chest with Carrie to see her responses by asking her about her sister, Wendy. Carrie is unaware that right before the interrogation, detectives already conducted what's known as a trash pull, and they collected discarded items from outside Carrie's residence in Albany. And from that trash, a profile was created that clearly matched the baby, making it evident that Carrie is the mother. However, what they need is a clear story of what happened, and with every question, they are about to close in on the truth.
Actually, I didn't even ask you. So you said you have 2 kids, right?
Yes.
Okay. Any other kids?
No.
No. Okay. I know it's kind of a personal question, but I have to. It's one of the things I got to ask. How many times have you been pregnant?
2.
2.
Yes.
Okay.
Very easy, very...
Easy pregnancies?
Mm-hmm.
No issues?
No.
What about after? Because, like, my wife, she got the postpartum. Did you ever get that?
No.
Really? Good for you. It was,
No.
It was a tough time in the lawyer household.
It wasn't really?
Oh, my God.
No. I had a good support system.
Okay.
You know, and they were good.
Okay.
You're the father of your 2 children, Josh and Hannah.
Yes.
You guys still together or
No, we're divorced.
divorced? Did you meet him in Roxbury or down here?
No, here.
Here?
We work together. Yeah.
At Tri-City?
Nope, at Camry.
The Living Resources. New.
Yes.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah.
So when did you meet him? How long after you came here?
Well, I met him immediately because we worked together.
Yep.
But then we started dating probably 2 years later. He was actually engaged.
Oh, he was
and then
engaged
he
at
was
the time?
engaged, and then they broke up, and then, yeah.
So part of this is we're going around, we're trying to collect DNA samples from people,
Mhm.
all right, to try and match to the remains and that we're doing. Is that something you'd be able to help us out with?
Yeah, that's
Give us
fine.
a sample of DNA? Okay. Yeah, we can do that here in a
So
moment.
the remains were found where? Can you tell me that?
Yeah. So, are you familiar with this area at all?
Within Washington Park? I've seen it during Tulip Festival.
Okay. Have you ever been here?
Just looked, the only time I ever got to Washington Park was Tulip Festival.
Tulip Fest. Okay.
Yeah.
So where these flower beds are over here, right by this road,
Mhm.
this is where the remains
Oh.
are found. Yeah. But I mean, easy
Ooh, I'm
enough.
sorry, I've got goosebumps.
Oh, it's horrible.
Ugh.
I mean, it is. It's every. I'm sure whoever whatever happened, there's an explanation because generally there's an explanation to everything that happens because it
Right.
happened, right?
Right.
It's just a matter of figuring it out, and I think eventually we'll do that, but part of that is talking to people and figuring out, we can do so much investigatively, like following DNA trails and stuff. And it is super cool. Like the way this stuff works, like I swear to you soon, we're not there yet. But
So how does that work with DNA? Can you pinpoint?
yeah,
I don't watch any of those stupid.
No.
Sorry, I don't mean.
No,
stupid
it's not.
shows.
you're
They're
insulting my career.
No, they freak me out.
Law enforcement's not a special thing. It's like someone figures out a cool thing to do to solve crimes.
Right.
Or, figure stuff out, because not everything's a crime,
Mhm.
but to figure stuff out, and then everyone gets on it. Like, Golden State Killer, he was a serial killer who's run around California for years, like numerous victims.
Yep.
And then they implored this technology that we're kind of using now,
Mhm.
and they were able to link him to all these crimes from like 30 years ago.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
It's a
That's
game changer.
crazy.
It's actually a huge help, like it generally does help us do what we got to do. So the way it works is, we go around, we obtain DNA samples from a bunch of different people, and then we end up zeroing in and figure out who mom and dad are.
Mhm.
Because it's that same kind of thing where everyone's DNA starts spreading out the branches of the trees.
Right.
But the more samples that we can find and we can keep comparing them, it keeps bringing us in because we find
Oh, wow.
the traits that are similar between the people.
That's amazing.
It's pretty cool.
It's cool, and it's like I said, this is a baby, if you couldn't tell.
I'm
yeah.
gonna throw up. That's gross.
I know. Here's the thing, though, is, we're just trying to figure out what happened to it. The remains, they are what they are. We're honestly trying to just fill in the blanks here.
Mhm.
This is a historic event that happened. It is what it is. No one's changing that now. We're just trying to get some answers and figure out exactly what occurred. Whoever, the mother and father are, have their reasons for whatever they did. I'm not saying it's right. But,
Right.
you know, you never know what kind of headspace someone's in. Like, you could look at me and I could appear put together, but I'm a mess in my personal life, you know?
Carrie plays the part, nodding along, pretending to be impressed by the wonders of modern DNA, as if she's a curious bystander. But beneath the fake fascination is panic she can barely contain. Because no matter how amazed she pretends to be, science isn't here to entertain. It's here to expose her. And her innocent facade that she had been wearing for years was about to finally crumble.
So part of the thing is, you know, we're asking people as we're going through. So this is a very newborn baby that gets found. And we're trying to hash that out as to exactly what happened to it. And we're just getting people's perspective.
Right.
Like, I mean, these remains, they get found in Washington Park. I mean, in your mind, what would cause someone to leave a baby in a place? Anything you could think of?
No. Because they have all those, like, hospitals, safe places.
Yeah, like a safe haven to leave kids.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we're trying to wrap our head around.
No idea.
I mean, so there are some aggravating factors with this as well.
I think especially, like, how?
Right. I mean, that's what we're trying to wrap our heads around and get from people. I mean, this happened, and I think within short order, we're going to be able to figure out definitely who mom is, you know, and then we'll work through who dad is, and, you know, we got to collect all these DNA samples and go from there. But, you know, the thing about this is, so I'm sorry I got to show you this, but I do, because it is important. Okay. The baby was actually set on fire.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah, so not only was it abandoned, but...
Oh my God.
Yeah. So we're trying to figure out exactly what happened to this baby.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Because here's the thing, right? Is it could be a couple different things here. We know the baby was alive. We know it breathed, had lung flowing through its airs, was healthy, was crying. And then this happens.
Ugh.
Carrie listens as detectives calmly lay out the facts. However, her reaction is minimal, which doesn't go unnoticed. Now, they just need to see what Carrie will do with the facts laid out. And to their surprise, the truth is about to burst wide open with a chilling confession, one that no one saw coming.
So we're trying to figure out, you know, who did it, obviously, right?
Right.
Because in your mind, I mean, you see that. What's that scream to you?
It's crazy. No.
But, I mean, as I said, everything's explained.
Right.
You know, but it's not me. I don't know, especially when, you know, we can prove it. That's not the spot you want to be, or someone wants to be, I should say.
Right.
Right? Like if someone is truly related, or the mother or father of this child, the best thing they could do when we talk to them, and this is just me thinking out loud, is the best thing they could do when we talk to them is be truthful, right? Like, yeah, all right, yeah. This is what happened, but I didn't do that, or so-and-so did that, you know, but people that lie, that ain't going to go their way, right? Because everything gets figured out. As I was telling you, like that Golden State guy,
right,
or oldest son. Look at that, the Giglio Beach guy that killed all those girls.
Right.
They figure it out, you know, because what they do is we end up, you know, we get DNA, we make comparisons, and God help someone if they lie. Because all you have is your credibility, right? Because 27 years ago, baby Moses gets found here, right? And say you are mom, right? I'm not saying you are, but say you are, right? And we bring you down here, and you say, no, I'm not the mother. I was never pregnant then. What if that's not true? Like, we could figure all that stuff out, right? And then what happens is we go, hey, guess what? We found this baby, and the mother said she's not the mother. What's that scream to you? If you're like,
I did it. I did it.
You did it?
I did it.
What happened?
I got pregnant. I had the baby. I gave birth in my bathtub. Baby died. Didn't know how to get rid of it.
The confession came out of nowhere. Carrie might have simply realized there was no way out. But this was only the beginning. What followed would turn the entire interrogation into a roller coaster, one filled with disturbing, tragic details that were about to surface for the first time in 27 years.
How'd the baby die?
I think I had water in the bathtub. I think it drowned.
You drowned it?
I didn't drown it.
In that bathtub?
Yes.
Inside that apartment? Right there?
Yes.
Why did the baby?
I didn't baby.
Who did?
I don't know who did.
Who'd you give the baby to?
I had the baby by myself. I went down to the park. I handed it to somebody.
Who'd you hand it to?
I don't know. Some random person.
Carrie, that doesn't.
I swear to God.
You did not hand this baby to a random person. That didn't happen.
I didn't know what to do. I set the baby on fire.
Was it screaming?
No, it was dead. It was dead.
So, what did you put the baby in?
A cow.
A towel? Because the doctor who did the autopsy says your version's bull.
I put it in it.
No, what I'm saying is this baby was breathing for minutes. This baby was alive.
I had it in the. I did.
That doesn't lie. This is 27 years ago. Let's clean this up. Let's be done with this here and now. That baby died, not of natural causes.
I didn't kill the baby that I'm aware of. I had it in the bathtub.
It didn't drown. There's no water in the lungs. That didn't happen. It's not of natural causes. There's no trauma, so that leaves one thing. And you know what that one thing is?
Suffocation?
This woman killed her own newborn, set the body on fire, and hid the truth for 27 years. And now, as the truth resurfaces, there's still no sign of remorse. She puts her lies over her confession like a cherry on top of a sundae. But this is where her lies are about to crumble.
Here's the thing. I get it. You're all alone in 1997. You probably moved here because you're pregnant and you're trying to hide it.
I did not. I moved here for a job.
Moved here for a job.
I didn't know I was pregnant until after I moved here.
Okay. Fair enough. And listen, I'm not disagreeing with that. It's probably true.
That is the truth.
But we know definitively that this child breathed. We know it was taking breath in its little lungs. All right? If you freaked out and did this, that's fine. We need to know. Well, look.
Yes.
Guess what?
The child.
With what?
I put it in the bag.
Put it in a bag. Did you cover his mouth? His nose?
I don't remember. I don't remember that part. I may have. I don't know that I put it in a bag, though.
Okay, let's talk about this. Did you hear the baby cry and screaming?
I did not.
You didn't hear the baby cry?
No, I swear. Not that I remember. I do not remember hearing the baby crying.
We put him in a bag. And we know he's alive. We definitively know that from the doctor. You know?
Because an autopsy was completed on the baby. And that's how we know the baby didn't drown.
So that's what we need to figure out. And we honestly want to know because there's, the one thing I've consistently said about this whole thing is I have more questions than I have answers. And I hate being in that spot,
Yeah.
So we're trying to figure that out, and we need to flush that out so we can all
Right.
move forward. This is a long, long time ago. You know what I mean? So you have the baby in the tub. It doesn't
Yes.
drown.
No.
Okay.
I did have it in the tub. I don't remember covering its mouth and nose. Did I? Maybe. I do remember putting it in a bag. I don't remember hearing it cry.
What kind of bag?
I think like a Walmart type.
Like a plastic
like
bag?
a plastic bag.
Okay. And then, how'd you get down to Washington Park?
Drunk.
You drove. And you're by yourself.
1,000%.
The detectives had their confession. But with Carrie, another lie is never too far behind. So they need to get the whole story straightened out. And while the core of the confession is over, the gruesomeness of the story isn't. And what follows would take the case to an entirely new level of horror.
Did you ever go see a doctor about being pregnant?
No.
So nobody knew?
No.
It was just, you found out and kind of kept it to yourself?
No, like I said, I gave birth in the bathtub.
And then you go to Washington Park. At any point, did you see any, when you're on your way down there, did you see any police stations? Did you see any hospitals? Did you
No.
see any?
No, I did. No. They just.
You just want to get rid of the baby. How did you figure out to set it on fire?
I don't know. I don't.
Do you remember if you used matches or a lighter?
I think matches on fire.
Matches.
I think. Why? I don't.
So I got to ask you the natural thing, because based on the way the baby's found, did you hear scream cries as the baby was?
No, I think the baby was dead at that point.
At what point, before or after you leave your house, did the baby die?
I think before.
Before.
I don't remember it. No.
Do you remember the baby looking at you?
No. No, I think I was just so, like I said, gave birth in the bathtub, was dealing with myself. I don't think I really, I don't have, I don't remember it crying. I don't remember.
Did you remember moving?
No, not. No, I mean, it was, I think I was just trying to take care of myself, you know?
Yeah. How did you sever the umbilical cord?
Scissors.
Scissors. I mean, here's the thing. We know from what the doctor told us, right, that this baby was taking breaths, was alive, right? So what we need to sort out now, between us three in this room, so we can all be done with it and move on, is how exactly this baby died, right? I mean, here's the thing.
I must have suffocated it. I mean,
It's not-
that's all I can. My recollection, like I blocked it.
Carrie tries to use time to her advantage, counting on the fact that the case is nearly 3 decades old and memories might fade. But like every time before, her version of events is about to crumble yet again. And this is where her bizarre motive comes to light as she finally reveals the chilling truth.
We got to do an honest account of that with each other. Not I think, because this is something you don't forget. You probably haven't thought about it in a long time, but it's definitely something you don't forget.
I put my hands over its mouth and nose.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
And then you press down?
Yeah. I think.
No, not I think. It's either did or didn't. And I'm not pressuring you to say something, but I need a definitive answer here.
Yes.
Yes, what?
I pressed down.
Did the baby stop crying when you did that?
Again, I don't remember the baby crying, but it must have. I don't remember the baby crying.
I want you to think back to 1997 when you had your hand over your mouth and nose. Did you feel those little breaths hitting your hand?
Yes.
How long until it stopped?
10 minutes? I don't know.
You held your hand on the baby for 10 minutes?
I don't. Timing, I don't know.
Why?
Why did I do it?
Yeah.
I think I just had no clue what I think I was just in shock.
You're in shock. Had you met Jason yet at that point?
We were working together.
Did you like him at that point?
No, he was engaged. We were just co-workers.
So this is something you were young and you were scared?
Yeah, he doesn't even know about this.
Have you ever told anyone?
No.
Never
Nobody.
told anyone?
Well, never told anybody?
No.
Like mom, dad,
Nobody.
sister, nobody?
Nobody.
Just kept it inside the whole time?
Yeah.
Now, I gotta ask you this, because it's been a long time. After 27 years, how have you never told anyone?
I'm ashamed. I'm embarrassed. I blocked it out of my memory. I didn't even know today was the date. Like, I just, wiped it.
In the U.S., during the year 1997, an average of 20 fetal terminations per 1,000 women occurred in the 15 to 44 age group, most of them being younger than 25 years old. And Carrie was 25 when she became pregnant with baby Moses, old enough to understand her options. But instead of seeking help or even informing the father, she made a fatal decision. At 25 and already working at a respected real estate firm, Carrie wasn't some confused teenager. She was a grown adult, making grown decisions that have consequences. Unfortunately, one of those decisions was murder. And by the time anyone learned the truth, the damage wasn't just done. It had been neatly wrapped and buried for nearly 3 decades. And the detectives are about to confront a stone-cold mother who doesn't flinch and sits proudly narrating the horror without an inch of guilt.
What's it feel like to kill someone?
Terrible. Terrible.
Walk me through your emotions. I always ask everyone that's killed someone, and you're not the first person.
Shame, embarrassment, hatred of myself.
When did that kick in?
Immediately.
After you did it?
Mm-hmm.
So after you pressed on that baby's face, and you recall pushing on his face,
I do now, yes.
and you felt those little
Breaths
breaths hitting your hand, and then you felt them stop. How long after that did you take this baby down to Washington Park?
An hour or two.
An hour or two. And that's a towel, you said?
I believe it was a towel. A blanket, a towel.
And you put...
Was it a towel?
Oh, it's like a pillowcase.
Yeah, it does kind of look like a pillowcase.
Could be a towel. I don't know. Pillowcase, towel, some sort of cloth object. Did you wrap it in that?
Yes.
But the baby was definitely dead before you set it on fire, right?
Yes. 1,000% it was dead before I left the apartment.
You killed it?
I believe it was dead before I left the apartment. I can't say 100% sure because I didn't, feel pulse or anything. I didn't.
If you had, let me ask you this, if you had not done what you did, would that baby still be alive today?
Yes.
Anything we didn't ask you? Do you think's important?
No.
If you could say anything to that baby right now, what would it be?
I love you and I'm sorry.
If he asked you, why'd you do this to me?
I was young, stupid, and
It's if I could show you the panorama one, went all the way around.
Did you ever go back to the park? No, never.
I've gone for the Tulip Fest or something like that. But
Events,
no.
but not.
No.
Did you ever go, when you went for Tulip Fest, did you ever go to this area?
No. Just walking around with friends or whatever, but I just, like I said, I blocked it out.
Her words feel hollow, and the absence of remorse is chilling. The detective tries to bring emotion into the conversation, hoping to break through. But Carrie remains cold and detached. And yet, the disturbing story is still not over. What remains is the details of the traumatic delivery.
As you recall, the evening hours you started feeling cramping, and you believed that was you about to give birth.
Mm-hmm.
You got a pair of scissors. You went into the bathtub where you ran warm water, I would assume?
Yeah.
Where you ran warm water. And then you delivered the baby. You pulled the baby out. You cut the umbilical cord. Cut it with your right hand or your left hand?
I'm right-handed, right hand.
Right-handed, okay. You recall baby moving around You don't recall if it was crying, but you know it was alive because it was moving. You put the baby down.
Okay.
You cut the umbilical cord. You take care of yourself. And then you placed your hand over the baby's nose and mouth and applied pressure until the baby stopped moving. Did you know you were going to kill it when you were doing that?
Yes. I think yes.
So you knew what you were doing, but you did it, correct?
Right. I knew what I was doing. I was young. I was stupid. I didn't,
Okay.
Yeah.
So you intentionally kill this baby. Then, after about an hour, you go to Washington Park and set the baby on fire. And if that baby were alive today, you would say, I love you and I'm sorry.
Yeah. Now that I'm older, wiser, have kids, and yeah.
Yeah. You're not.
You're young, stupid, and.
Yeah. It's a long time ago,
A
Carrie.
long time ago.
Carrie, do you know who the father is?
Where's he live?
I have no idea.
How'd you link up with him?
We were in Roxbury together.
Goddamn, Roxbury.
He's old, much older than well, not much older, but he's older than I am. And
Like how much older?
5 years. I think he's married now, and I don't know if he has kids.
And that was a consensual thing you guys had done together? That wasn't.
It was consensual. Yes, he has no idea. He didn't even know I was pregnant.
Okay. But I'm saying you weren't or anything like that.
No.
Every word out of her mouth is disturbing, but ignorance or panic doesn't excuse the murder of a newborn. Sadly, Carrie isn't the only mother who's taken such a horrifying step. It's a grim reminder that the very person meant to protect a child can sometimes be the one who destroys them. And Carrie? She's about to prove she hasn't grown wiser with time, only older.
You give me your word?
Yes. Swear. Yeah.
I don't care what anyone has done. Like
I'm in a relationship. I'm happy. My kids.
Yeah.
So now what? Now?
I mean, we got to figure out what's what now. I mean, I want to honestly just take a second process everything we just talked about, because and I'm sure you do too.
Right. I mean, am I in trouble? Am I going to be arrested?
I mean, I can't definitively say that. I honestly don't know. Like, it's so long ago and there's so many variables. I'm more mainly concerned with, like, I don't care if people get arrested or not, as like just me as a cop. I never care about that. That's why I love investigations, because
right.
All I want to do is just figure out what happened.
Right.
Like, if you didn't kill this kid, great. If you did,
yes,
don't do that.
No.
I mean, we got to figure it out. Give me a minute to process everything we just said here, because it is a lot. I honestly don't know, Carrie. What do you think should happen out of this?
Personally, if it was years ago, I think I should be in trouble. It's 27 years later. I've got my life back in order. I don't know.
Right.
I mean, I did it.
Did what?
I killed a child. I killed a baby.
Would you say you murdered it?
I would have to say that's what I did.
Yeah, at what point did you decide that's the burning was what you were going to do?
I started to walk away, and then I was afraid that there might be evidence on the towel. So it wasn't the baby, it was...
You were trying to get rid of the towel.
The towel. Or the whatever, blanket, towel, whatever.
Why not just take the towel?
Stupid, young, not thinking, not...
Because him and I have talked about this a lot. Like, I've really tried to get in your headspace from that time. Because I pride myself on being a pretty decent person.
I just don't think at that point, and I was physically ill too. I kept passing out with the towel. I had wiped the baby off again, and then I think I was afraid my fingerprints or whatever would be on the towel. So I wasn't setting the baby on fire. I was setting the towel on fire.
What a saint she is. She only meant to burn the evidence, not the baby. Carrie still seems to believe that somehow makes her look better. It's clear she hasn't changed one bit in 27 years. No remorse, no guilt, just the same cold, self-serving mindset. In fact, she genuinely thinks that because the crime is decades old, she might catch a break. But she cannot be more wrong.
I mean, it happened. I was stupid. I was dumb. I was young. I'm embarrassed. And I honestly, I'm kind of glad it's over because somebody else knows at this point.
You feel relieved?
I do. In a way. Yeah.
That had to eat you up.
For years it did.
Yeah.
But then
Now you've made peace with it?
I did. I think after having my kids, and I don't know. I don't know if I made peace with it. I just
Learn to cope with it, I should
guess,
say.
yes.
Well, that's like any trauma, you know. It doesn't matter if it's
5 years, 20 years.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if it's military service, first responder, you know, car crash.
I mean, I've had so much other crap in my life, you know, my house robbed, my divorce, you know, it's just.
Yeah. Someone sees this as this baby set on fire, and they're like, what monster did that? But you lay out your logic of, no, I wasn't trying to hurt the baby. I was trying to destroy physical evidence, right? So honestly, explaining things like that and talking it out, things aren't always what they appear, right? I mean, is it a killing of a human being? Yes. Yeah, it's an intentional killing, but the heinous part of it, you offered an explanation, which, okay, fair enough. So as far as dealing with that and prepping people, if that's something you choose to do, go ahead. You know, I'm not going to tell you what to do or how to live your life.
Right.
You know? You got anything?
Nope. Pretty good. I think we went over everything.
Do you have any questions of me? I've asked you a lot of questions.
No, I'm worried about my career and everything too, you know.
Yeah. Rightfully so. Rightfully so. You don't know. I mean, you know, which is partially why I have to ask you, you know, are you thinking about harming yourself?
No.
Okay.
No.
Carrie Mazuka never went to a full trial. Instead, she chose to take a plea deal. After her eventual arrest in September 2024, she was indicted and scheduled to stand trial for second-degree murder, evidence tampering, and concealment of a human corpse. However, on February 13, 2025, just weeks before the case would proceed to trial in Albany County Court, she pled guilty to first-degree manslaughter and tampering with physical evidence as part of a deal with prosecutors. On April 18, 2025, she was finally sentenced to 25 years in state prison.
This is 35-year-old Douglas Dietrich, who can be seen visibly distressed after a shocking revelation about his girlfriend, Nicole Vanderheiden. It was only a matter of time before detectives determined whether these tears stemmed from grief or guilt following a reluctant 911 call on May 21st, 2016 at approximately 4:30 a.m.
Who's missing?
It's my girlfriend.
What's her name?
Nicole Vanderheiden.
After the missing report, Doug quickly became the prime suspect as detectives made a shocking discovery just 3 hours prior to his call. The initial evidence also pointed squarely at him, and after rushing to Doug's home, what they found seemed to confirm their worst fears.
Why is she calling you abusive?
I don't know.
What is her stuff?
I don't know where she gets this stuff sometimes.
Detectives in Green Bay, Wisconsin thought they were coming close to solving this mystery. But just as they were about to crack the case, a shocking forensic breakthrough turned everything upside down, revealing a twist no one saw coming. On May 21st, 2016, 31-year-old Nicole Vanderheiden and her boyfriend, 35-year-old Douglas Dietrich, had gone out for a night with some friends. Nicole was a mother of 3, so she left her kids with her babysitter to have a relaxing time out at a local nightclub. But things took a disastrous turn when they moved to another club named Sardine Can down the street. But after her disappearance from this club, Doug finally called 911 after waiting for a couple of hours when she became unreachable through her phone.
And what's that last night you last saw her?
Well, I didn't last year. It was probably about 11:30, 12, I'm guessing.
Okay. That's the last you heard from her?
Yep. And I had talked to her on the phone. She was with a couple of my friends in a different vehicle, and then I was flying down there from the west.
The 911 call prompted detectives to a chilling revelation. Only 3 hours prior to Doug's 911 call, they had discovered the body of a woman near a farmyard which had a haunting resemblance to Nicole Vanderheiden.
At first I thought it was a deer because of the rust color in her hair. Then I realized it was a young lady.
The call raised troubling questions. Was this unidentified woman really Nicole? And did Doug report her missing in an attempt to cover his tracks? As per protocol, the investigation began with the caller himself. The next morning, police arrived at Doug's house to gather more information about that night. The plot thickened even more when, through Doug's interrogation, the detectives identified another person who accompanied the couple that night. It was Greg Matthew, Doug's best friend. Officers began interrogating Greg Matthew and wanted to extract a timeline of that night from him.
How did the night start? How did you guys all get together?
We were all going to Steel Panther.
Okay, who was all?
Watering hole. A big group of our friends.
Greg was already there at Doug's place when detectives arrived there. On arrival, they asked the same set of questions in the initial minutes of interrogation to check any inconsistencies. But Greg managed to keep his narrative intact.
I don't know why Nikki ended up leaving with our group of friends and not leaving with Doug and I. I don't know if she was just like swept up by the group and jumped in the car with them. They were going to go to the sardine can.
So who all rode together to the sardine can?
All of those people on that list besides myself and Doug.
Nicole's emotions had run amok as she felt invisible and irrelevant. Soon, her dissatisfaction escalated into panic. She felt a terrible emotion of loneliness and had decided to leave the party on impulse. But when she went out into the cold night, one concern persisted. Had she made a huge mistake by leaving without Doug?
And from what I heard was, that she's like, I'm leaving, and she started walking, and our friend Aaron...
And where were you guys at this time?
We were in the watering hole parking lot at that point when this happened. So...
What time was this about?
I think probably like 12:15, maybe a little earlier, 12:10, that we were walking out to go to the sardine can. So our friend Aaron tried to stop her. He's like, what are you doing? You can't just run off, just wait. They're on their way here. So then Doug's calling her and talking to her, and she's, yelling at him, and, why aren't you here? Are you with some girl or something? She's getting a little crazy. And, Aaron had texted either Doug or I saying, she took off. I tried to stop her. So Doug, she hung up on Doug. He called her back.
Who hung up on Doug?
Nikki.
Okay.
Because at this point we knew she wasn't at the sardine can. And so then the next call, I pulled in and I parked my car, and I'm like, Doug, hand me the phone. Maybe I can talk to her.
And what time was this at?
I think this is the 12:30 that this third call.
You called?
No, he had called, but I could hear her on the phone kind of yelling at him. I said, just give me the phone. Maybe if I talk to her, I can, have her let us know where she is so we can go and pick her up. Mm-hmm. So I talked to her, and she wasn't making any sense. She was accusing me of being Doug, pretending to be me. I'm trying to be logical and rational, and just be let us know where you are. You can't just go walking around, we'll come and pick you up and we'll go, we'll go back home. And then the call, I don't know if she hung up or the call cut out, but then after that, every time Doug had tried to call, her phone was off. It went straight to voicemail. So I don't know if her battery died right then when I was on the phone with her, but when I was talking to her, she wasn't really making much sense.
Did any of the friends say which way she went?
They said that she went south. Aaron had texted that she went south on Maple. So I don't know if Maple is the street where that bank is on the backside of the sardine can. If that's Maple, I'm not really, sure about all those roads. So Doug continued to try to call her, and it just kept going to voicemail. We started to drive around the area and kind of scope the area out and see if we could find her walking. And we drove around for probably 25 minutes. And we figured, well, let's go to the sardine can and see if she went back there. And by the time we got back, all of our friends had left, and she wasn't there. So we went.
Did you talk to any employees of the sardine can?
Not employees, but I talked to a bunch of the people that were out on that, in like the open, yeah.
What time was this that you went back to the sardine can?
Man, this must have been at about 1:15 that I started to ask people. And I asked this one guy, I'm like, did you see a blonde girl, you know, out here? And he's like, Nikki? And I'm like, yeah, you know. But, so he's like, yeah, you know, she left a while ago. And then I asked another guy, and this other guy knew, you know, said her name too, which I know that sounds odd, but Nikki can get very outgoing and adventurous, you know, where she'd be like, what's your name? You know, I'm Nikki, you know, like, that's something I've seen her do before as strangers, so, I mean, I know that could you know, that she could be very friendly in talking to people, you know, in almost a naive way, but, so we stayed there for about 20 minutes talking to people and, you know, hoping that she would come back, and Doug's still trying to call her, and then we drove around. I mean, at this point, it probably was like 1:30, 1:40. We drove around for a while again, you know, going up and down streets, trying to find her. And then, you know, her phone isn't on, so we can't get a hold of her. And we, you know, thought maybe, hopefully, she got a taxi back or something. So then we went back to Doug's house. His phone had died by that point. We got back there, and the babysitter was there, you know, so the babysitter left, and, you know, Nikki wasn't there.
For detectives, Greg's account didn't raise the red flags they'd expected. Their decision to get back home and check if Nicole went back herself seemed logical. In fact, his consistency, body language, and his willingness to cooperate all pointed to one thing. He was telling the truth. With that, the officer wasted no time bringing Doug into the interrogation room as he had many questions raised against him. At first, Doug appeared visibly distressed in light of the uncertainty that was lingering around Nicole's disappearance. But the officers needed to determine whether his tears were a genuine expression of grief or a cleverly devised tactic to divert attention away from him.
So what we want to do is kind of review a couple of things. Actually, we're going to review what you had talked about earlier with Tracy. And then we had spoken to Greg earlier, okay? And he kind of gave us a timeline of what you guys all did last night and, you know, what he did today.
With a timeline of that night already in hand, all that remained was connecting the dots to uncover the truth behind Nicole's disappearance.
And I tried calling back a few minutes after that a bunch of times, and it kept on going straight to voicemail. So I always is, you know, it's either off or she's on the phone, but for some reason, there's usually a call waiting on her, but so I was figuring it was off, it had died. She had been using her phone a lot, using Snapchat and stuff like that at the concert, so that does drain the battery a lot, so I kind of figured, you know, the phone had died. And she's bold and just goes, you know, with her own thing, and especially when it has any drinks and has no filter per se, you know.
Here, Doug calmly provided all the details of that night before steering the conversation towards Nicole's reckless nature. At this point, it might seem like he's blaming Nicole for the situation. However, it was just a matter of time for the real truth to come out on the surface.
Did she ever mention anything about postpartum depression or anything like that with the previous two kids?
No, didn't really discuss that actually.
Never. I think it might have been a possibility with
I think she was definitely, and then like she always was kind of a social butterfly beforehand, before she got pregnant and everything, and liked to go out a lot. Not having that life after she's pregnant, and then cooped up, she's a homebody with the kid, and very great mother, and always, you know, never missed breastfeeding or anything like that. That's why, besides a few, the one other time she didn't stay at home was.
It was clear that Nicole was a socially active person, always eager to go out and make new friends. Initially, the police speculated that her extroverted behavior might have contributed to her involvement in serious trouble, given the fact that similar incidents happened in her past.
Where did that happen? Where did that start?
That time?
Yeah.
That was at, I'm trying to think what exactly happened that night. I don't know if I had been out or...
Similar to this though, or she just kind of walked off on her own?
No, she didn't. There was another time she did just walk off on her own. That was in, it was like January, it was the night after, it was the night of the Arizona playoff game.
Okay.
And we were at the Ravine watching it there. We had gone to the Bar East to meet up with a bunch of friends there. And she had started freaking out on me in the bar. And then she actually hit me at the bar there and like ran out.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like zero, you know. And I ran out after, I was closing the tab up, and so I closed that up and I ran out after, and she was running up Line Kiln there, not to the corner, there's that little auto place in the corner, and then a squad had pulled in and stopped her, and I ran up and talked to her, and she was like belligerent with the officers there, and then I had to put her in the back of the squad car, and I walked back to the bar. We had a cab waiting for us, and well, it was on its way, and so they stayed there and made sure. Then she got in the cab and we went home. And then I don't know what she was thinking. She was stuff in her mind, and then she just goes.
This clearly indicates how overexpressive Nicole was, so police straight away wanted to collect as many details as possible.
A couple quick follow-ups here. When you guys went back to the sardine can, and you talked to these two random guys that you didn't know who they were, but they knew who Nicky was?
Yeah, Greg's, we were asking around, and it said it was her name Nikki, or Greg said it was Nikki, or they asked what was her name, and said Nikki. I said, oh yeah, she was here.
Okay. And what part of the bar was that?
That was outside on that back patio, like towards, in between like the door to go outside and the bar.
Okay. Okay, so it was outside patio.
Yeah.
As far as this Uber driver thing that came up, how did the Uber driver get involved?
I think that was Aaron had called the Uber, or the app or whatever. One of that group had called Uber.
Okay, so who all rode with Uber, do you know?
Would have been, well, according to Aaron, this is.
So this is coming through Aaron, you didn't see them leave with Uber?
I did not see them leave.
Okay.
He said Crystal and Angela, who are sisters, Jesse Kotler, and what else?
Aaron.
Oh, and Aaron and Darcy, his fiance, Darcy.
So Aaron, Darcy, Crystal,
and Angela. And those two are his sisters. And Jesse, I think it's Barakashan, I believe, is her married name.
How come Mike didn't drive him home?
Well, Mike was DD, and I think he drove everybody to the water hole beside Nikki and I believe, and Greg.
Yep.
Because we kind of put this together last minute that Nikki and I were going to go. And I think he must have just dropped him off. I'm just speculating on that.
Doug's account had already lined up with Greg's version, but the police were determined to dig deeper, hoping to uncover any hidden details, especially in the light of alarming statements that had been made against him during the investigation. Then there was Nicole's sister, Heather, whose testimony raised further suspicions about Doug. However, Doug's conversation with her that night clearly revealed his frustration with Nicole's behavior, adding another layer of complexity to the case. But soon, the detectives will uncover a shocking twist on this case that would bring an entirely different point of view on this tragedy.
Him saying, any chance you've heard from Wild Woman? I said, no, have you found her yet? Because I was at work, so I didn't come till later. And they said, no, I'm not. I do not have my phone either, so pretty complicated at this point. I'm beyond concerned. She better be in jail. I can't answer a call. I'm only on my desktop. So where's your phone? Do you have a card? Did you call the jail? I called and she's not in there. And then he said, I just called my phone, no card. I didn't call the jail, but I didn't answer. She phoned up and everything was right to my jail.
When was that?
Saturday.
Doug's apparent concern for Nicole's condition seemed genuine, yet there was still a possibility that it could be a very calculated move to divert attention from his own involvement, because as the interrogation unfolded, Heather revealed the dark truth about their relationship dynamics. This cast Doug in a shadow he couldn't escape.
I guess in the beginning of their relationship, she just kind of knew they were both. She had a hard time. She was divorced, and then she had a rough couple of years. And then she met Doug, and she's like, well, we're both kind of crazy. We will get together and go work and stuff. And then a couple months later, she found out she was pregnant. She came to me, and she wanted to get an abortion, but I told her to keep it because I had gone through the same thing, and I did it. And it's the biggest mistake I've ever made. So I told her to keep it. You'll regret it.
Heather was worried about her sister, who had been struggling for the past few years. Acknowledging Nicole's history of severe mental health challenges, it was no surprise that she felt emotionally overwhelmed that night.
What do you know about that, or when did that start, that you
From the beginning.
Okay. And so he's controlling, and he gets mad when she doesn't return his calls or texts.
And also there was a couple times where he basically, since the baby was born, hasn't really been there as a father, and he'll just go out and drink all night long and not come home. And then when my sister, she tells me, this is her side of the story, but when my sister asked, where were you, he got mad and said, it's none of your business.
Okay. And when was this that this happened? Do you remember?
Not really. There's just so many incidents.
Okay. So many.
Just situations like that. It was every other day. She was just really depressed.
Okay. Was she on any medications for depression?
She tried. She couldn't do it. It made her go crazier.
When you say crazier, what does that mean?
Well, I don't know. She just had her thoughts and minds. And she just couldn't handle it.
Did she ever discuss any suicidal ideations?
She's herself in the past.
When was that?
I want to say 2 months ago.
Throughout the conversation, Heather appeared visibly emotional as she revealed troubling details about Nicole's past. She spoke openly about Nicole's previous marriage, explaining how it ultimately led to her relationship with Doug. But the story didn't end there. Heather described the many struggles that Nicole and Doug faced in their own marriage, constant tension, unspoken resentments, and unresolved issues. She also revealed that Nicole had been battling severe depression for years, even attempting to end her life in the past. This insight shed light on the immense mental and emotional toll Nicole had endured long before the tragic events unfolded. But later, she revealed another truth about Doug, which was much more shocking than anyone could imagine.
They stayed together, and I know it's been really, really rocky during her entire pregnancy in their relationship. An example would be like they went to a wedding together, and while she was pregnant, and she saw him doing with his friends, and she got really upset and left. And this was like 45 minutes away from home, and she was like 8 months pregnant. And he got mad at her and said, "You need to come back now," so she did.
This revelation led the officers to another key person, Rebecca, Doug's ex-girlfriend, whose testimony offered additional insights into Doug's character.
So can you tell me some of the issues that are of concern that you think that maybe I would be interested in during that period of time? Sure.
It was right before I moved in too, actually. We got in a fight, and he tackled me. I broke my ankle.
Hold on a second. And before we get into it, so there was that one call where he was arrested for domestic violence, where
that was when I already had moved out back into my.
Is that one of the last incidents?
Yes, that was the last incident.
And was there any other police contacts?
No. Well, yeah, but not with any arrests.
Okay. And what other police agencies?
It would have been probably Brown County, because we were living in the house.
Okay.
And
so that would be Brown County.
Yeah.
Okay. And
they were called there
for domestic violence issues.
Yeah.
How many times?
One for sure I remember. I think just the one. The cops actually came. Because my friend called. Because she was worried for me. Yeah.
Okay. So let's get to this ankle, and then just whenever we get to that incident where the cops were called, just remind me of that. So right before you moved in, He did what?
We got in a fight. He
Okay.
tackled me, and I broke my ankle. So, I mean...
Which ankle did you break?
My left.
Where did he tackle you?
We were in his bedroom. We were fighting, and he came at me.
Did you go to the hospital at all?
I did.
And what kind of treatment did you get?
They referred me to a specialist, and then he had to give me 2 surgeries on my ankle, and then I was in a cast for probably at least 2 months, maybe 3. I couldn't
And what
walk.
did you tell the medical people happened?
I tripped over my dog going down the stairs
Why did you tell them that?
because that's what me and Doug decided to tell them.
Okay. And when he tackled you, why did he tackle you?
Because we were fighting.
Do you remember what you
I have no
guys were
idea. No,
fighting?
I don't.
And what was the purpose of him tackling you?
I don't know. He was probably mad, and he got mad.
Okay, so after he tackled you, obviously you were in pain. And
Like extreme pain. Like I was like, we had to stop fighting. I had to go to the hospital. Yeah.
did he take you?
Yeah.
Okay, but you guys discussed what you would say?
Yeah.
Okay, and the reason why you decided to cover for him?
Well, it's because I loved him, and he wouldn't get in trouble, and then everything would be fine.
Rebecca's testimony painted a disturbing picture of Doug. She revealed that he was not only abusive, but also controlling and manipulative, going so far as to pressure her into lying about an injury at the hospital. Her account was just one of many that instances his pattern of manipulation.
Let's talk about, if you can't remember specifically, when you would argue, it would be...
He would spit in my face.
Okay.
He would, throw stuff, break stuff, and I mean, I would too.
Okay, would you ever spit in his face?
I would never spit in his face. I've never,
Okay, so I'm just going to differentiate who did what. So spit stuff would just be him. And throw stuff, break stuff would be both of you?
Yeah.
Okay. And what else? Yelling, swearing?
Yeah. Well, and just really, he was really controlling. He was really manipulative.
Would that be just him or both of you for yelling and swearing?
Both.
Okay. And then go back to, so then controlling and manipulative, what do you mean by that?
Well, one example, he would, I worked in Appleton at the time, and I would call him when I got done, and then I would drive home. And if I was like 5 minutes early, he would say, why are you speeding? You can't get speeding tickets, you're going to raise your insurance, it's a big deal. Then, but if I was 5 minutes late, well then it was, where did you stop? Who are you talking to? Why are you late?
Interrogating Rebecca simply increased suspicion the detectives had towards Doug. She also reveals another incident of Doug's abusive behavior.
There was an incident that was reported to the Green Bay Police Department. There was choking in that particular incident. Was there any other choking besides that particular incident?
That incident that was at my house in the upper,
right.
700 South Irwin, it probably was, or 1280 Cass. There's 2 addresses.
Gotcha.
He was choking me. He put the sheets from my bed into my mouth, like as much as he could, until I couldn't breathe. So I couldn't scream, I'm assuming.
Okay.
The school across the street called the police because they heard me screaming.
Okay.
With the history of violence now clear, the detectives were convinced at this point that Doug fit the profile of a potential murderer. In fact, when they first visited his home, they uncovered evidence that painted him as an abuser, further strengthening their suspicions.
She said, so what was you with?
Well, I'm sorry.
Did she hang up on you? Was it pretty clear that she was upset?
And,
where am I looking?
right here. This is all her text.
At 11:12 p.m. she said that?
Yeah, so, it was after 11
what did
there.
it say? So what?
She was kind of hard.
So what was you with? And
why is she calling you abusive?
I don't know.
What does yours say? Okay.
I don't know where she gets this stuff sometimes.
Is that common for her to talk that way to you when she's been drinking?
Sometimes, yeah, I mean...
Or when she's sober?
She doesn't drink that often, but...
Okay.
Officers chose to extend the conversation, hoping to gain further insights from him that could fortify their case.
Is there any other friends that she might reach out to looking for a ride or anything like that?
Yeah, I don't know.
Dallas?
We had her sister supposedly talked to Caitlin, who was one of her good friends, or was more of a good friend, and then Haley. That's pretty much it.
And Heather, that's her sister Heather. She would know those people.
Yep.
Your parents arrived, did you leave the house at all?
Nope.
No.
I haven't left since then, until now.
Okay, so basically you got home at, what time was it early this morning?
2:33.
Okay, so 2:33 o'clock, and you've pretty much been home, from what you're telling us, the entire time?
Yep.
Okay.
With overwhelming evidence against Doug, officers had plenty of reason to suspect him. Determined to leave no detail unchecked, they carefully watched his reaction, calmly revealing that they may have uncovered the truth behind Nicole's disappearance.
And she doesn't have any tattoos, right?
Nope.
Any scars from surgery or anything that you know of?
No, just she has a scar here from that's like in her childhood, right by her eye.
Right eye?
Yep.
Well, I think what we're looking at is this body that was found down the street. I don't think it's been 100% identified as her, but there's a lot of similarities.
What do you mean a lot of similarities?
There's a physical description, height, blonde, belly button ring.
What happened?
Oh, I don't know.
That's what we're trying to figure out here.
That's what we don't know.
That's why we're conducting interviews like this with a lot of people to try to get to the bottom of this.
Doug looked anxious, and slowly he realized what might have happened to Nicole. By the time detectives told him the possibility of Nicole being the same person as the unidentified body found in the farmyard, he was overtaken by his emotions.
Was there any other details you guys know?
No.
How would it happen, possibly happened?
No. Like I said, I don't even know 100%. You know, that it's her.
Please not. Just the way they said it on the news, I don't know, a gruesome discovery. You gotta be kidding.
Well, that's the news looking for viewers, you know.
Yes. I swear to God, I'm gonna find who did this. Thank you.
However, further investigation raised suspicions, with multiple concerning details emerging, from Doug's history of abuse at home to shoe prints found on Nicole's body that matched his own. Additionally, the discovery of substantial blood in Doug's garage was deeply alarming. With these mounting red flags, detectives decided to arrest Doug on the charge of first-degree murder on May 21st, 2016. Doug's arrest seemed like the end of this case, but what came next was something the detective didn't see coming at all. It's important to note that the officers were conducting their investigation and taking action based solely on the information provided by those involved that night. Until that point, they had no solid evidence or concrete leads, which directly led them to conclusively identify Douglas as the killer. However, what initially seemed like a straightforward case took an unexpected turn 18 days after the arrest of Doug, when the forensic results came in, providing a significant breakthrough on Nicole's disappearance.
When they found her body in the field, she was wearing one sock. DNA was found on that lone piece of clothing on her body.
The DNA that was found on Nicole's sock was run through the system, and it was later revealed to be identified as belonging to George Birch.
The DNA evidence led authorities to George Steve Birch, a man already known by the police for his criminal history and had previously been arrested in connection with a hit-and-run incident. After monitoring him for a period on June 8, 2016, officers took him into custody for questioning. During the interrogation, Birch chose to remain silent, refusing to provide any statements.
So obviously you're brought here in handcuffs, right? Which means you're arrested, so you have the right to your Miranda rights. Are you familiar with those rights at all? Okay, so before I speak to you any further about my investigation, I want to read your Miranda rights and see if you're willing to talk to me, okay? The reason you're here is in reference to a homicide investigation into Nicole Vanderheiden, okay? So is this something that you want to talk to me about?
Yes, sir.
What's that? You don't want to talk to me about that? So if I read your Miranda rights, you don't want to talk to me?
Yes, I would prefer a lawyer.
Okay. Let me at least fill this form out here.
During the interview, detectives seized his mobile phone to investigate his conversations with Nicole, since he claimed to have exchanged a few messages that night. Officers uncovered an email ID and traced Birch's GPS position using Google Dashboard, and that was it. They found Birch's exact position on the night of Nicole's death. GPS indicated that he was in Richard Cranium's, a pub half a mile away from Sardine Can. At 2:30 a.m., the data showed his presence at Nicole's apartment. At 3:52 a.m., it was clear he was at the farmyard, where Nicole's dead body was eventually recovered. It was only a matter of time. The truth was already waiting in the corner. With enough evidence in hand, let's see how he was relentlessly grilled in court.
The truth is that before May 21st of 2016, you never met Nicole Vanderheiden, correct?
20th to 21st, yes, sir.
The first time you ever saw her was when you observed her in that bar that night at Richard Cranium's, correct?
Yes, sir.
The truth is that you were attracted to Nikki from the moment you saw her, right?
I thought she was attractive, yes, sir.
When did you decide that you were going to have sex with her?
Later on, after we had hung out together, and we had both expressed we were into each other.
You drove her to an area that you'd never been to, that you were not familiar with at all, correct?
Yes, sir.
You drove her down Broadway, you crossed the bridge into Pier, correct?
I believe so. I'm not familiar with the area, but if you say so.
You drove Nicole out in front of her house, correct?
Yes, sir.
That's the truth. You parked there. You had every intention of having sex with Nicole that night, correct?
I was hoping that was the way it was going. That's the way it seemed like it was leading, yes, sir.
So Nicole would rather have sex with you in front of her neighbor's home with your butt hanging out the door of the car than ask the babysitter to go home?
Sir, I don't know.
Did she tell you that she was uncomfortable?
Not that I recall, sir.
You said that you were having sex with Nicole while she was in the backseat of that car, right?
Eventually, yes, sir.
And what did she tell you about how painful it was?
It wasn't gentle, no.
It was painful.
That I don't know.
What really happened was you drove Nicole home 20 miles away from where you lived, fully expecting that you were going to have sex, right? And when you get there, and it becomes clear that Nikki isn't going to have sex with you, when she attempts to go into her house and leave your vehicle, that's when your mood changes, right?
No, sir.
That's when things get aggressive, don't they?
Not at all.
That's when you grab that cord and strangle her, don't you?
No, sir, not at all.
That's when Nikki gets slammed on the ground repeatedly when she's trying to run toward her house, when those bloodstains lead in a direction back to her home. Nikki was strangled. She had a fractured jaw, correct?
I don't know, sir. That's what the medical examiner said, but I can't speak for sir. I'm not a doctor.
You heard all of that, right?
Yes, sir.
You saw her injuries. You sat through court to see the defensive injuries to her hands, to her feet, to her palms, to her fingernails, as she fought for her life, right?
According to what the doctor said, yes.
And you say that Doug Dietrich did this, but of course, you didn't see that happen either, did you?
I cannot say for certain, no.
You never met Doug Dietrich before that night, right?
No, sir.
So rather than just beating you or killing you in the middle of the street, he decided to enlist you, a total stranger, to help him dispose of the body of his girlfriend.
I don't know what his plans were.
He had you drive them to a remote location, correct?
Yes, sir.
He thought it would be a good idea to have a complete stranger know where he's dumping a body?
I don't know what he thought. You'd have to ask Mr. Dietrich about that. We were at the descend, so I don't know how far that goes down. I'd never been there before, so I couldn't tell you exactly how far I was down there, and it was dark.
You were down the embankment?
We were not at the bottom, no. It was still inclined.
And Doug was coming down the embankment with you?
He was standing in front of me as I was looking in that direction. He was in front of me in the incline like this. He was not ahead of me. He was like right in front of me.
Finally, this whole courtroom drama came to an end when officers found Doug's real-time location data of that night with his Fitbit. It clearly showed that he was not even near the crime location, absolving him of all suspicion. And ultimately, the court came up with their verdict on March 1st, 2018. George Birch faced trial for first-degree intentional murder. Prosecutors used DNA, mobile phone records, and Fitbit data to paint a detailed picture of Birch's behavior that night. The jury found him guilty and sentenced him to life without parole.
Verdict reads as follows. We, the jury, find the defendant, George Stephen Birch, guilty of first-degree intentional homicide, is charged in the information. It is signed by our foreperson and dated this first day of March, 2018.
You said you didn't want him to see it coming.
Yes.
What did you hit him with?
A hammer.
A hammer?
Yes.
Okay.
And I basically killed him with it.
I understand you wanted to talk to me?
Yeah. Well, I thought we were going to get this done in the morning and everything. I didn't know.
Would you prefer to talk in the morning? I'm here to, I want to talk to you as soon as possible. I came a long way to talk to you.
Yeah. How late are you here till in the morning?
Well, I mean, I'd rather do it now. I mean, I traveled a long way in a short amount of time.
I'm doing it, man.
Okay. All right.
I apologize.
That's okay. Hey, like I said, I'm here to listen to you.
Do
Okay.
you think I could possibly get a blanket, though?
I can ask.
I hate to ask. I just have bad PTSD with
a
cold.
blanket or anything like that?
Yeah, sure.
All right, they're going to get you one.
Thank you.
All right.
I'm sorry. I just
No.
have bad PTSD with coldness.
PTSD with coldness?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was homeless for like half a year in the winter of 2015 and 2014.
Oh, really? Where was that at?
Up here in Ohio.
Okay. What's that supposed to be? Okay.
Shelby begins the conversation with an almost unbelievable calmness for someone just apprehended for 3 murders. But this is only the start. His eerie composure is enough to send chills down anyone's spine.
Where do you want to start?
Well, we're not going bullshit. We know why you're here. It's for the 3 deaths and everything.
Okay.
Correct? Okay, well, obviously I did it. I'm trying to think of where I begin this long story.
You want me to ask you a question to get you started?
I mean...
Or do you want to just think about it and you can start wherever you want?
I mean... The story kind of like... Because I know your questions are basically like, why the f*** did this happen, for obvious reasons. I mean... You know what, why don't you start with questions and I'll just make my way into the story in a second. So
Okay. Well, I want to start way back.
Way back?
Childhood. How was your childhood?
Oh, we want to go there. You know, it was a good, man.
Mom and dad both there? Single mom, single dad?
My birth father, he was in Texas my whole childhood.
Shelby's childhood showed no signs of trauma, except for his father passing away right before his 17th birthday. So it almost rules out the detective's initial suspicion of deep-rooted mental issues. However, his cold, calculated demeanor hinted at psychopathy. Alternatively, it seemed he might be deliberately portraying himself as a character in a twisted movie, believing he was the anti-hero of his own story.
So your dad passes away,
yes.
And then you're with your mom and your stepdad?
Yes.
Okay. How was it growing up? I mean, good?
I mean...
You said it was relatively good childhood?
Yeah, childhood was good. I didn't run into problems until literally in my early adult life. Like, literally as soon as I turned 18.
So when you were a kid, how were you disciplined? There was no, like, physical abuse, mental abuse?
No, I mean, I would get disciplined like any other kid. I was bad,
Well, everybody has different.
Get ground from my stuff, get my stuff taken away, but I wasn't the easiest of children to deal with either,
Like getting into mischief, or
yeah, I was very mischievous and rebellious growing up. I also got prescribed ADHD. I just think the rebellion came from like strict rules and everything, like a normal child.
Right. You just didn't like the rules?
Yeah. So I would just break them and everything.
Well, kids go through that.
Yeah. My I don't know if I'm psychotic or not, but my psychosis didn't really start taking effect till I was like starting to go through stuff. Early adult life, I turned 18. I moved out of my parents' house. I'm still in school. I'm smoking weed and all this shit. I knock up a girl, and then just somewhere down the lines, I drop out of school. We marry, and I don't know. Shit was just. I think I just had too much going on my plate back then.
That's a lot for a young man to handle.
I just was still dealing with my dad's death and everything, so I started lashing out and hitting her and everything, and the marriage ended.
And what was her name?
Her name was Caitlin.
Caitlin?
Yeah.
Okay.
But we're on good, just because all that stuff happened back in the past, we're on very good terms now.
Shelby calmly described a severe act of domestic violence, showing absolutely no remorse. It was as if nothing could affect him. But the chilling interview was about to take an even darker turn.
So how long were you homeless? Approximately
6 months.
6 months. And what changed?
When I met my second wife, which is their mother.
Jamie?
Yes.
Okay. And how did you meet Jamie?
I was a manager at Burger King by this point. Her brother was my employee.
And where is this at? What city and state?
This is Ohio. This is actually up here.
Okay.
Before we all moved down here.
Okay.
Ohio.
What city in Ohio?
Parma.
Parma, okay.
Mm-hmm. I went home with him one night and to smoke weed, and she was just sitting there in the garage, and we sort of just hit it off from there.
Okay.
And I started dating her and living with her, and that's when shit really started getting bad. Everything was cool at first. Occasionally we would argue, and she would smack me here and there. And I was like, it's whatever, it's a woman, they lose control of their emotions. And by this point, of course, this is after the whole domestic violence bullshit. I'm really not trying to hit a woman and all that. So unfortunately, their daughter was very, how do I put it, disrespectful towards rules when living under. Can I get some water? I'm sorry.
Sure.
As he casually insults every single woman on earth, Shelby sips his coffee and quenches his thirst with a glass of water before revealing a disturbing story.
How do you think you're doing as a dad?
How do I think I'm doing as a dad?
Yeah. With your kids.
I think I did pretty damn good
Yeah.
as a dad. Yeah.
What do you think about Jamie as a mother? How do you think she does?
She did not do good.
Can you give me some examples of why she didn't do good?
Well, I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. She's not alive anymore because of what she tried to do. We're going to get into that.
Okay.
I do apologize that when I first started the conversation, it was kind of hard for me to piece together how to tell you that, but we're at a good point now. She passed away. There was we'll get into this incident, but there was an incident down in Florida where she had an extreme case of psychosis, and I'm sure you can look up all her records and stuff. I'm sure you've seen that she's attacked her parents in the past and all that good shit.
Mm-hmm.
She would get into a mode that she just could not control. When I tell you, it would literally be like looking into the eyes of a demon. It literally was. So she came at my daughter with a knife after she had got done severely beating me. And there are scars on my body and shit, you know. And I'm not giving myself an excuse, man. I'm just telling you the reason as to why shit happened. But when you come at my daughter with a knife, you know, I have to stop you.
Right.
And unfortunately, I went too far. I choked her out, and then when the blood started coming out of her nose, I stopped. But
it was too late.
It was too late.
And where was that at?
This was at a house. This was the last house that we had down in Florida, and this was about a year ago.
So she's been deceased for a year?
Yes.
Okay, was that in West Palm?
No, this was in close to Tarpon Springs. Newport Richie.
Where is she now?
I buried her in that backyard.
She's in the backyard of that home?
Yes, buried. Alright, so say this is like the little deck that you walk in on.
Okay.
You turn immediately right and like walk 5 steps out, and she should be buried right there.
Jamie, who was initially believed to be missing, had actually been dead for a year. This meant Shelby had managed to avoid capture from January 2018 to January 2019. Now, the pressing question was, how did he manage to stay under the radar for so long?
Did anybody ever ask you where she was?
Oh yeah, I mean, I lied.
Well, I obviously you're gonna lie, you know, something like that has happened, but I'm like, who asks you where she is? Like, doesn't Nick go, hey, where's my sister? Or her parents call you, or?
Well, yeah, and thankfully I knew her so well, I knew how to act like her. It was weird, man, you know, they never talked to her over the phone or anything. I would just act like her. I was on text message and everything, you know. Sometimes I would act angry at the parents and all this stuff, but dude, I would just feel bad. So I would like send them pictures and everything of the kids, because like they were persistent. And of course, you know, everybody else, you know, because I left Florida immediately.
After that?
Yeah.
Let me, and I don't think I asked this.
Go ahead.
Approximately, what was the date that this occurred?
It literally happened around a year last year ago. Like,
approximately a year ago?
Like literally in the beginning of 2018, like this, like January.
January of 2018?
Yes, like I was gone by the end of 2018. Or not, by the end of January, I'm sorry.
Okay. So do you remember the beginning of January? End of January?
It was definitely middle of January.
Middle of January of 2018 on Norwood Avenue in Newport Richie?
Yes.
Do you think it's important, or do you want to get off your chest? Or?
No, I mean, this is the type of shit she did to me. She,
what was that from? Fingernails, a knife, or?
This was a knife. This was a hammer.
That the mark right here?
Yeah. I don't know, man.
Did you ever call the police on her?
The police were called on her multiple times in
Newport Richie? Or where?
In just Florida and Ohio, man. Like, but I was just under her control, man. Like, I know I come across as the evil one, and quite honestly, I am. You know, I'm a monster for the shit I did. But unfortunately, there's a reason for the shit that I did. She would go in jail. Her parents would lie for her. She would come out. She would go into the psych ward. Her parents would lie for her. She would come out. I would lie for her because I was under her control.
Now, when you say she was like the psychosis that you described, was she seeing a doctor or a psychologist?
She refused to.
Refused to? Was she on any meds?
She refused to be on any meds.
So
she thought that she didn't need any help.
During the duration that you knew her, she never went to a doctor that you know for her.
We tried to get her there, but she just did not like what the doctors had to say, and so she'd be like, "I'm not going there anymore." It was, you know, every day my kids saw a woman beating on their dad, and I just didn't want that.
Shelby could have concealed the fact that he pretended to be Jamie, but he chose to reveal it. This suggests a sense of pride and further underscores his psychopathic tendencies. Moreover, his calm demeanor suggests he still believes he was justified in his actions and is trying to play the victim card. Also, it's quite shocking that Jamie's family never attempted to check on her, despite not receiving any response from her for an entire year.
I bought a place in Elyria. I tried to make it work. I even got a job and everything, but people just weren't babysitting my kids. And babysitting was hard to come by.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, during that time period, I was afraid to get on welfare because it's like they're going to be looking for
mom.
They're going to be like, where's mom? And then, so I lasted there for like a couple of months. And then I can't make it. My parents can't help me because my brother has cancer at this point. He beat it though.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah. So I have to move to Texas to where all my other family is at. So I did that for like half a year, I believe.
Who did you stay with in Texas?
I stayed with my granny for the most part. And then me and her got into it.
What's her name?
Oh shit. Deborah Gray.
Deborah Gray, okay. She's still living?
Yeah, she's alive.
Okay.
Then she kicked me out because she couldn't handle the kids. But I was working a good job. I was working in the oil field for a while there. And then I get another place. And I'm working and everything. I'm still trying to shake off Jamie's family for the most part. And it's just...
Are they pestering you like, where is she? We haven't seen her?
No, it's not even that.
Or you're still doing the texting like you're her?
Yeah.
But did she have her own phone and you had your own phone, or did you guys only have one phone that you shared?
We only had one phone.
Okay, because I was thinking to myself, like, you had to keep paying the bill to keep playing like you were her.
Yeah,
okay, so you shared a phone and you just pretended to be her.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't really call it sharing a phone. It was mostly hers, but yeah, that's how that happened.
Okay. So Granny says you need to go.
Yeah, I get my own place, and then I had my own place for like another 3 months, so we're getting towards the end of the year, and unfortunately now I'm seeing something has to be done because I don't want to get caught.
So, in a desperate attempt to save himself, Shelby devised a chilling plan. A plan so sinister it would shock all of Florida. And very soon, he would reveal the reasons behind it.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this. So you initiate conversation with Laura. August. When do you leave Texas and drive to Florida? What date?
I can tell you it's in the beginning of December. As far as the exact datage, I would have to go through my phone to be able to tell you that.
Okay. Like, in relation to Christmas, how many weeks prior to Christmas do you think you got to Florida?
It was definitely like beginning of December.
Beginning of December, you drive from Texas to Florida. What are you driving?
Her old car that I have.
Beginning to mid-December?
No, it was beginning.
Beginning in December, you pack up the kids. Pack up, I'm assuming, the stuff you're taking with you because you're leaving everything else behind, right? You drive to Florida. Does she know you're coming, or you just kind of show up?
No, she knows I'm coming.
She knows you're coming.
However, she thinks that Jamie is staying behind due to work issues and everything.
Okay. So you arrive. How's it go?
It goes great at first. I kept putting off killing them. If I'm going to talk about this moment, we're going to talk about it. I put off killing them, and I tried to look for every alternative not to do it. And of course, I didn't have to do it. There was no reason for me to do all this,
But he did it anyway. And the next part of the interrogation would shed light on the motive behind this horrifying triple murder.
I was coming up on a year that she was dead and everything. I just wanted to... This is going to sound weird, but the end of the day, I just wanted to make sure my kids were okay, you know?
So were you worried that they were going to try to take them from you?
I was worried that they were going to try to take them from me. I was worried that, honestly, no offense to them, they were great people, and I did care about them and love them greatly. I did. I actually got along with her more than my own mother,
right?
Which is sad. You know, I didn't want to do this shit, man. I didn't want to do any of this shit. But they just don't know how to raise kids, man. Like, flat out.
Shelby killed 4 people who were family to him, all under the guise of protecting his kids. His paranoia about believing his children might turn out like their mother Jamie is hard to comprehend. His statements reveal his prejudiced nature and even contradictions. He said he had to do something to save himself from being caught after killing Jamie, and he knew that her family was the biggest threat to him. So, one can get the idea as to why he actually killed the Ivanchik family.
You know, I kept putting it off. You know, they were enjoying time with their grandkids, and...
At what point in time did you decide I have to kill them? Was it when you were driving there?
No. I fought with it literally up until I did it.
Okay, so when was your first thought of, I need to kill them?
Oh, like, it was definitely on my way there.
While you're driving there, you're thinking to myself, I need to kill them.
Yeah, like if I'm going to survive and raise these kids and not get caught. And then I get there.
Because they pose a threat to what you believe was a threat to your custody of your children.
Shelby had planned to kill the Ivanchik family from the start, but claimed he held off from doing so, and instead continued to watch them spend time with his kids. Despite this, he went through with the murders, showing he was more sadistic than emotional. It seems Shelby doesn't truly understand the concept of emotions, no matter what he says.
No, you're doing great, man.
It's hard for me, man.
You're doing great. You're doing great. While we're in the steps, I'm trying to get stuff. I don't want to forget things.
Of course.
And I kind of want to try to, as sequential order as we can, so we're not jumping around. You know what I mean?
If I'm being honest with you, we've been doing awesome on the order. Like,
okay.
As far as time and everything, as far as, like, chronological order.
Okay.
We've been doing very good.
So, go from there. You get there, and you said everything was going great at first, right?
Yeah, you know. By the way, also what made things easier to not be able to talk on the phone with them, you know, for Jamie not to be able to talk on the phone with them, there was a debt collector from the old house, because, you know, the old house got trashed. I kind of trashed it to, like, make them not really, like, think that there was a dead body there, you know.
Try to throw them off?
Yeah. I was trying to be intelligent. You know, it was the most unintelligent thing you can do.
Well, while we're talking about that, when you put her in the grave, you cover it, did you do anything to, like, disguise the top of the grave, like put leaves over it or anything? Because, you know, I've seen, you know, you look at the backyard, you don't want to see this fresh pile of dirt.
Yeah, no, I put something over it. It was, we had a bunch of, like, these wooden, oh, god damn it, what are they fucking called? Not wooden planks, but, like, basically, there was a bunch of shit that could have been used for construction in our backyard that I would, like, put over.
Just laid it over the top of it. And what did you do with the excess dirt? Just spread it around the yard, or?
Oh, I just put it all in the grave. It all fit in there. And then I just, like, smoothed it out and then put stuff over it.
Okay. All right. So fast forward, we're back to your Tarpon Springs. Your kids are staying in the bedroom with you. You go down the hall, first door on the right.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm there for probably a good 2 weeks before I kill them, though. Unfortunately, I almost got out of it too, because, you know, with this debt, you know, I acted like this debt collector, had like a undercover agent that you can buy or whatever it's called. I forget what it's called. But basically, I made it seem like that this debt collector knew where Jamie was at if she were to enter Florida. So then at the end they were like, well, we could just come to Texas with you and visit her. And then on that day, you know.
So is that when you decided I have to kill them because they're getting too inquisitive? Is that why?
No, they weren't even inquisitive, man. They were always trusting of me.
And do you remember what the date was?
December 15th and December 16th.
December 15th and December 16th is when you killed them?
Yes.
Okay, do you remember?
The
Okay.
parents, go ahead with your
No, I don't want to stop you. Go ahead.
You
said the parents.
The parents passed away first. And then I dragged their bodies into their room, cleaned it up, waited for Nick to get home, spent one last night with Nick, and then when he went to bed, I killed him too.
It's quite weird to know that Nick didn't even question the whereabouts of his parents for a complete day. But currently focusing on Shelby, he confessed to the murders of his in-laws as if it were nothing. He admitted to waiting for the perfect moment, constantly thinking about killing them, all while remaining as calm as a summer sea. His demeanor won't change, but the details he's trying to reveal will only grow more horrifying.
What did you hit him with?
A hammer.
A hammer?
Yes.
Okay.
And I basically killed him with it.
Okay. So when you say, where's the first place you struck him with the hammer?
In the back of the head.
Back of the head, like right in the middle of the back of the head?
Yeah.
You just came up behind him and
Yeah.
hit him? Does he fall?
Yes, he falls.
Just falls to his knees or?
No, he's unconscious. And then,
one shot, he's out.
Well, he's unconscious, yeah.
Okay.
And then I whack him again a couple of times on the head to give him a quick death.
Do you remember where on the head?
No, because if I'm being honest with you, I wasn't trying to commit the act in the first place, so I'm not really trying to look. I know I definitely got him right here, but all I really did was bash him a couple of times and then walk away.
Okay.
And then he passed away.
Did you hear him still breathing or?
When I did, I would go over there and whack him just to try to get him to be done because I didn't want him to suffer anymore.
So after you hit him the first couple times, you walk away, and I just don't want to put words in your mouth. You hear him, so you go back and you hit him a couple more times?
Yes.
Okay. And how many times did you have to keep going back?
That was only one time that I had to go back.
Okay, so if you had to guesstimate how many times you struck him with a hammer, what would you think?
I would say 5 to 7 times.
5 to 7 times. And it's right in the area by where your kids' toys were at?
Yeah.
Okay. Where are Bella and Oliver at when this is happening?
They're in the room.
They're in the bedroom you were staring at with the door closed?
Yes.
Okay. Did they come out?
No. They can't open doors or anything.
They can't open doors? No. Okay.
No, I had the room completely baby-proof for them, so they were safe.
Shelby claimed his kids were safe, but safe from whom? Their innocent grandparents, or the monster of a father who was savagely bashing a man's head just outside their door. Regardless, it was now time to hear the details of Laura's murder.
You greet her at the door.
Yeah, and then she starts walking towards the kitchen, still doesn't notice her husband.
Okay.
And then I basically take her out before she can notice anything.
Okay, and where do you hit her?
Same place.
Back of the head?
Yes.
Okay. She drops immediately?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then...
So she's in the same room with her husband?
No, she's in a different room.
Okay, where?
She is in the living room, walking towards the kitchen. He's in the dining room.
Okay.
Towards the left and everything. Like I said, I don't know how she did not see him when...
He killed both of them an hour apart, but rather than taking a moment to feel guilt or regret over his actions, he calmly and patiently waited to murder Laura. This clearly shows that while Shelby might not fit the textbook definition of a psychopath, he undeniably exhibits psychopathic tendencies. It would be fair to say he's at least on the borderline.
Okay, so they're both down.
Drag both of them.
Which one do you drag first?
Definitely Rich.
Rich, he's on the area rug?
Yeah.
So you gotta tell me how you did it, because he's a pretty big dude, and I'm not taking this offense. You're not near as big as he is.
Oh yeah,
you had to like busted your ass to get him back there.
God, did I ever?
Yeah. How long did it take you to get him from there down the hall and into the room?
Dude, honestly, only 5 minutes.
Probably your adrenaline through the roof, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you got to be like, do you know when Nick's coming home, or is it like, oh shit, I got to get going. Nick could come home. I got to get them out of the way.
At that point, I didn't know when Nick was coming home. So you're right. Definitely adrenaline played a big part into it. I think moving him, but yeah, I got him out of there in like 5 minutes, and then I moved her in there, and then I cleaned up all the blood with the mop and everything. And he didn't notice anything when he got home. I finally did get a hold of him.
Where was, and how did you get Laura into the bathroom?
There was another rug that was close to her. I threw a towel on her. Sorry, I'm fine. And then I put her on the rug, and then I dragged the rug.
Okay, but you brought Rich first.
Yes.
How did you get her past Rich? Because he was, from my recollection, he's laying on his back with the rug covering him in the doorway. You have to pass the doorway to get into the bathroom.
I'm sorry. I think I brought her in first.
Okay. That's why I'm asking these questions, because you could have done it, but I want to make sure we're right on the order, because for you to get her over the top of him would have been a pretty good feat.
Yeah.
So
no, that would not.
Now that you think about it, you're positive you drug her back first.
Yes, she got drugged back first.
Okay.
I apologize.
Okay, so you get both of them on their area rugs into the room, close the door. You just chill with the kids until Nick comes home?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. What time
is everything? It's like 6 or 7.
After committing 2 horrific murders, Shelby calmly waited for Nick to arrive. What he did next was nothing short of pure barbarity.
Because I saw a lot of blood stains on the couch.
Couch wasn't moved at that point.
I understand that, but is the blood staining that's on the couch from you striking him? Does he fall against the couch? On the couch.
That's from Nick.
That's from Nick.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So Dad falls there. Nothing gets on that. You mop up the floor.
Yeah, the couch was right here at that point. It's not moved over there or anything. I'd move it over there during the process that I stay there.
Okay.
Nick was asleep on the couch when I killed him, so that's where all the blood stains on the couch come from.
Okay.
And then I moved the couch to block off that room so the kids don't run in.
Where are the dogs?
I put the dogs in there.
Were they still alive?
Yes. Dogs don't die until like literally the last minute. And
like before you leave?
Yeah.
Okay. So you just close the dogs in there with the 2 that you just killed. Okay. You're playing with the kids until 5 or 6 when Nick comes home.
Yeah.
Okay. You said you wanted to spend one last night with Nick.
Yeah.
But you said you have to kill him because obviously you killed his parents.
Yes.
Okay. So he comes home. Tell me what happens when he comes home.
He comes home. He brings some weed and everything. He's got edibles and all that stuff. I start giving him money and I order us a pizza. I get us more weed. That type of stuff.
How did you get more weed?
Huh?
How did you get more weed?
Oh, he went to the dealer to get some more and everything.
Did you go with him?
No, I stayed home.
Okay. And he has a car, right? A minivan?
Yeah.
Where's his minivan?
Minivan's parked in that driveway. That's his minivan.
The blue one that's there is his minivan?
Yes.
Because I talked to a bunch of people and they kept saying, no, that's not his minivan. And he drives a dark colored minivan. They kept saying this dark colored minivan. We couldn't find this dark colored minivan.
Old people are idiots sometimes, to be honest with you.
So that
I
minivan.
think they noticed something. Yeah.
So that minivan that's still at the house is Nick's. Okay. I'm sorry. I know I interrupted you. Nick comes home. You guys are smoking weed, eating edible marijuana together. You guys have been friends for a long time. You want to spend one last night with him. So go ahead.
I mean, there's nothing much more to it.
What time is... So I'm assuming you guys are watching TV together and he falls asleep at some point.
It will soon be revealed what exactly happened to the dogs. But first comes the disturbing details of how Shelby killed his brother-in-law, Nicholas Ivanchik.
So you're watching TV, he falls asleep.
Yeah.
Where are you at when he falls asleep on that couch with all the blood stains, but it's at that point in time.
Here's how it happened. We're watching The Grinch and everything. He gets tired. He goes to sleep. I put the kids in the room. I wait until I think he's asleep. I fall asleep myself. and then I wake up at like 3, 4 in the morning, and then I grab the hammer, I tiptoe to him, and then I do what I did to them. You know, I don't like saying it, but I do what I did to them.
Same thing, same hammer?
Yeah.
So the same hammer, you used the same hammer to kill all 3 of them?
Yes.
So he's asleep. There was a lot of things. I mean, you did things I think you may have thought you were doing them carefully, but you didn't.
Okay.
You know, I'm not going to go into specifics.
Don't give me specifics. There's no reason to.
Yeah. I will say this. There wasn't one thing. So you can't beat yourself up over like, man, if I'd have just done that one thing, you did a lot. Okay. It was traceable.
Okay.
Okay. So, what else do you take from the house?
His coin collection.
His coin collection.
This
So
is on top of the fridge.
on top of the fridge where you live now?
Yes.
Okay. And what about IDs?
Yes.
Driver's licenses?
Yeah, I took that.
From who?
Rich and Nick. I could not find Laura's.
You looked for it, but you couldn't find it?
Yeah.
And what was the purpose of that?
Honestly, I know this company called Live Ops where you can work at home, but you gotta have a clean record. So that's what I was going to use that for.
You're going to use Nick's identity?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about Rich? Why did you take his?
Just to not leave behind evidence, you know. It wasn't really the smartest thing to do, to be honest with you. I know you're trying to find a comprehensible reason as to why, but...
Right. Well, like I said, I'm trying to understand your mindset, what's going through your head, why you would do things.
Mm-hmm.
And so the coin collection...
was to get money, obviously.
Right.
So I can...
And there was like sheets of money too, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you'll see the sheet of money in there.
So there's a sheet of money, collectible coins...
In the suitcase, Here. Want me to write it all down for you?
Sure. Yeah, right. You can write down everything you took from the house.
The murders of the Ivanchik family are clear by now, but it's obvious that many would want to know what happened to the dogs. Animal cruelty is a serious offense, and here's what unfolded.
At what point do you kill the dogs? You said it was like right before you left the house.
So, the dog that was by the woman, or by Laura, he died on his own, basically.
Starving?
No. He had diabetes, and I didn't know how to, like,
do the
administer that stuff.
Okay,
so.
Is that one of the ones in the... Because there was one dog in a garbage bag, another dog in a garbage bag, and there was one in a rug.
This is the one on the rug.
The one in the rug died on his own because you didn't give him his insulin.
Well, he didn't die on... He was dying.
Okay.
And then I put him out of his misery.
How did you do that?
I just whacked him once with the side of the hammer, and he instantly died.
Okay.
I knew that he would die instantly, being that he was a small breed and everything.
Okay.
As far as the other dogs go, they got put in the bag the last night, and they suffocated and everything.
Okay, so you didn't hit him with the hammer, you just tied the bag shut and suffocated him. Okay. Because I examined the dogs, I mean, I couldn't see any like obvious damage. So that was one of my theories, was that they suffocated. The only thing was, the bags are dark, and I would assume the dog would have tried to scratch their way out, but I guess they didn't. So, or I just didn't notice it.
Yeah.
Shelby killed 4 people he once loved and 3 defenseless dogs, claiming it was all for the right reasons. Yet his actions are so horrifying that even the devil might shy away from him.
I mean, I've basically told everything that I wanted to tell.
Okay.
I've made my,
major piece.
You know that I didn't do this because I wanted to be evil and I wanted to kill people. I did it because I felt that I had no choice at that time period. You also know my wife was very abusive, both physically and mentally and emotionally. And like I said, please feel free to look into her record, and you can see all the police calls and all that shit. You'll see that. But
okay. And like I said, I mean, we know you like Domino's pizza. I know that. I saw the Domino's boxes in the house and on the patio, and who like, is it the kids that love the chicken nuggets, or is that you too?
That's the kids. Yeah. Yeah, it's funny because that's just what I had going on at the house before you guys jumped.
Did Dad even want to check? Oh, does your daughter talk? A little bit. And obviously your son's too young to talk, right? Yeah. Is he walking?
He's walking, yeah.
Is he?
I feel bad for them though. I really do, because.
Well, I feel bad for them also. I mean, their mother's gone, and for all intents and purposes, now their dad's gone because of what, unfortunately, is bad decisions.
Shelby Neely's mother was granted custody of the children, while Shelby himself pleaded guilty to all charges on December 13th, 2023. It's surprising that someone who confessed so calmly took 5 years to admit guilt officially. He was sentenced to 30 years in prison for killing Jamie, avoiding the death penalty by assisting officers in locating her body and cooperating throughout the investigation. For the murders of the Ivanchik family, a judge scheduled the penalty phase for October 2024. During this phase, a jury will decide whether Shelby would face the death penalty or life in prison without parole for the triple homicide. However, there have been no updates on the proceedings so far. Avoiding a severe punishment for these horrific murders would truly be a terrible miracle, one that would defy justice and leave a bitter sense of outrage. So, what do you think about this case? Do you think Shelby was actually a victim and what he did to protect his kids is justified? Or is he just a cold-blooded psychopath who deserves the worst punishment anyone can get? Feel free to share your opinions. We'd love to hear from you. Also, if you have any case in mind that you want us to cover, mention them in the comments section. Please subscribe to Real Crime Psychology to unravel more disturbing cases from around the world. Until next time, stay safe